series of the season for Bowling Green as they face off against the Northern Illinois Huskies. It is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series for the Falcons as they look to close out the season on a strong point. Tyler Kamlitz alongside Chaz McNeil for the Falcon Media Sports Network. Chaz, set up to be an important series for Bowling Green, trying to get some momentum heading into the MAC tournament to end this regular season.
Yeah, that's right, Tyler. Bowling Green, they're coming off of a 3-game skid to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. When it comes to the conference series, they're 17-10 overall. This is a Bowling Green team that you look at what they did last year. MAC regular season champions. This current year, they fall into 4th, but they are still very much in the thick of things. They have cashed their ticket to the MAC tournament, but they still have 3 more games left before they can get there. So this is a big one, not really in terms of seeding or anything like that, but there is a lot of history on the line here today.
Starting pitcher on the mound for Bowling Green is going to be Jacob Turner, the junior right-hander, 5'11", 197 from St. Clair, Michigan. And then the batting order for Northern Illinois leading off will be Charlie Parcell. He's in center field. Logan Gregorio, designated hitter, bats second. Gavin Baldwin bats third at first. Will Couchman bats fourth at third. J.P. Gauthier bats fifth in right field. Ben Lloyd sixth at second base. Cooper Cone seventh in left field. Nolan Sandy, shortstop, bats eighth. And Kyle Hartman, the catcher, bats ninth. Parcell, left-handed batter in the box. The first pitch of the game by Jacob Turner in there for a strike. First pitch coming at 3:01 here. Jacob Turner has established himself as the normal Friday starter for Bowling Green. Of course, the Thursday starter here today, with this series starting a little bit earlier because of the MAC tournament upcoming.
And let's get into Charlie Parcell a little bit. 284 batting average on the year, 51 appearances. He's got 50 starts. He's one of those long-term guys for the Huskies. And he's got, on the season, 56 hits for 55 runs.
As he lines this one in the left center field, that's going to settle in front of Bates in left field. Bates bobbles at the second. Parcell thought about going for second. He'll hold up at first with a leadoff single for Northern Illinois.
And right there, you saw Caden Bates struggle with that ball a little bit. We've seen a couple injuries mar this roster a little bit. Tyler, TJ Tackett's not in the lineup. DJ Newman, who was the original Friday starter for Bowling Green. But Bates has been a good plug-and-play guy on top of other guys like Braden Curlis, Carter Motice, and there settles in Parcell at first base.
Logan Gregorio, another left-handed hitter into the box. First pitch to him, misses for a ball. Gregorio, one of 5 left-handed hitters in this Northern Illinois lineup. Defensive positioning for Bowling Green again. Garrett Wright behind the plate. Gavin Gannon at first. Braden Curlis second. Gunnar Antillion at short. Garrett Sloan at third. Caden Bates in left. Carter Motice in center. And Zach Corky in right. As the count still in the favor there at the plate. As Turner looking to get ahead here in the 1-1 count. This one grounded over to first, going to be fielded by Gannon. He steps on the bag for one, throw down to second, a little offline. So reaching safely is going to be Parcell, but Bowling Green gets the first out of the inning.
And you see there, Gavin Gannon, he's able to grab that ball rather easily. He gets the step on first base, but that throw a bit off target to Gunnar Antillion, the shortstop on second base, and that allows Parcell to move the bases a little bit to second base with one out.
And Parcell has been one of the best in the MAC at coming around to score this season. He has scored 55 times. That leads this Huskies team and ranks 4th in the MAC. Brings up Gavin Baldwin, the first baseman. First pitch to him in there for a strike. Baldwin this season batting .324, .425 on base, .654 slug, and an LPS over 1. Leads Northern Illinois in 3 of those 4 categories.
And this NIU team, you look at their batting average, they're towards the bottom of the MAC, but that slugging sits, I believe, at 3rd. It's just one of those cool little facets to this NIU team. They can, when they do hit, which they don't do as frequently as some of those other MAC teams, they get a couple extra bases.
This one popped to the right side, coming in foul territory and making the catch on the run is Gavin Gannon. So Gannon recording both outs of this inning so far. And it brings up Will Couchman, the cleanup hitter, with 2 outs in the inning.
And Tyler, you and I mentioned this a lot. Gannon came in relief of Brady Birchmeyer at first base. Gannon started the season at designated hitter, but he has done a phenomenal job fielding. You look at that
especially for a position that's not natural to him.
Exactly.
That he's had to adapt. It doesn't seem like that whenever you watch him. Brings up Will Couchman.
Parcell, little lead here. He's going to shuffle back to second base.
First pitch misses down and outside there by Jacob Turner. Turner took the loss last time out on Friday. Only went 2 innings against Notre Dame. Gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, 4 of which were earned. 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. Swing and a miss there by Couchman. Evens the count up.
Antillion, the shortstop, going to play close to second base. Keeping an eye on Parcell.
Turner allowed just 8 earned runs over his past 24 2/3 innings pitched before Friday. Looking to get back into that groove as he induces another swing and a miss. Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Stand by. Eventually it'll go back on.
And the Falcons had a bit of a trial by fire last week against Notre Dame.
Turner's next pitch, a swing and a miss at the plate by Couchman. Jacob Turner allows a leadoff single, then gets 3 straight outs to end the top of the first, scoreless between Bowling Green and NIU. We go to the bottom half of the inning here on WBGU PBS.
At Bowling Green State University, we are a public university for the public good. A nationally ranked research university, we create public good through our graduates who lead and our collective pursuit of impact in Ohio and beyond. Founded in the Midwest, we never shy away from hard work. We embrace our responsibility to do good. We are proud to have state in our name. It's who we are, always striving forward. Always a public university, always for the public good.
If we fell off, then we back. Now I saw the throne at that moment. I sat down.
Scoreless between the Falcons and the Huskies as we head to the bottom of the first inning here at Steller Field. Low 80s today at Steller Field. We felt the heat earlier in the day before these clouds started coming over, and we finally get a little bit of wind here to cool it down a little bit as the Falcons come up to bat for the first time. Gunnar Antillion will lead it off. Garrett Wright bats second, Zach Corky third, Gavin on fourth, Kaden Parker fifth, Kaden Bates sixth, Braden Curlis seventh, Carter Motice eighth, Garrett Sloan ninth, and it's Adam Brower on the mound for Northern Illinois.
And Tyler, Gunnar Antillion coming out to Who Can It Be Now, as that, we've talked about it a lot, one of the best walk-up songs you can get in the game. Just
Jacob Turner, Enter Sandman.
That is a good one
to start
as well.
His outing on the mound. The next pitch to Antillion, fouled off.
And that was fouled off far to the right side there. As Gunnar, we've seen him turn from just a strong fielder to a very good all-around player. He was MAC Player of the Week about a month ago now.
As he lines this one into right center field, that'll settle down for a leadoff single. So both teams get a leadoff single here in the first frame.
And that ball just bloops in over to Gauthier there. And Gunnar Antillion settles himself in at first base, which will bring up Garrett Wright.
And how about that for Antillion, Chaz? A hit in 12 of his past 13 games at the plate.
And just such a solid batter Gunnar Antillion is. And now you look at this batting order a little bit. You bring up Garrett Wright, who in and of himself is arguably the best batter on the team for Bowling Green.
And he'll be in the conversation for MAC Player of the Year as the season comes to an end. Floats this one on right field. That'll settle down fair. Antillion round second on his way for third. Garrett Wright's going to stride into second with a double for the Falcons.
And you just look at that swing by Garrett Wright, just so flawless. First pitch, and easily gets it on that right line to get a double. And now you've got 2 runners in scoring position. The Falcons only scored 1 run all of last weekend. They've already got 2 scoring opportunities here early.
And speaking of last weekend, boy, do you love to see that for Garrett Wright. Went just 2 for 11 at the plate with 2 strikeouts for the Falcons against Notre Dame, and lines that one into right field for an easy double. Brings up Zach Corky. First pitch he sees is in there for a strike. Adam Brower on the season is 4-3 with a 4.64 ERA. This is his 13th start. He's thrown 64 innings, 63 strikeouts to 23 walks. His next pitch is fouled off at the plate by Horky. Got him on the inside part of the bat, but Brower, Chaz, has a 6.16 earned run average over his past 4 outings. He's given up 13 earned runs in his past 19 innings, but he's a guy that will give them length. He's thrown at least 6 innings in 6 appearances this year.
And you really need that out of NIU. 7.77 ERA on the season. That's 9th in the MAC. You want to have a guy be consistent, and with 2 hits given up here early, I don't expect a pitching change here if I'm NIU, especially just because it's the first inning, but you got to settle in a little bit, shorten that ERA, and right now you're going up against Zach Horky, who has a pretty high batting average in and of himself, 327.
Zach Horky riding a 13-game hitting streak along with a 20-game on-base streak. Horky needs just 2 more consecutive games with a hit to enter top 10, the top 10 leaderboard in single-season hit streaks in Bowling Green program history.
Horky also just about 2 weeks removed
as he lines this in the right center field, and that's going to find the gap, and it'll go to the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes Garrett Wright around from second, and it's a 2 RBI double for Zach Horky here in the bottom of the first. Falcons go up 2-0, still no outs in the inning.
And I was just about to mention that, Tyler. Zach Horky, 5 RBI game against Toledo just about 2 weeks ago now. And right there, he notches 2 on what is a really lofty shot to the warning track. That ball falls in between Parcell and Gauthier, and now you've got Horky again in scoring position, and up comes Gavin Gannon, the strongest guy on the team according to head coach Kyle Hallett.
14-game hitting streak for Zach Horky. He has 22 hits, 17 runs batted in, and 5 doubles over that streak. He's been red hot at the plate for Bowling Green, and that on-base streak also extends to 21 games, longest active for the Falcons. Just 1 game away, 1 more game with a hit away from tying DJ Newman's hit streak from last year to tie for 8th in program history in a single season, as back-to-back strikes thrown in against Gavin Gannon, who is susceptible to the strikeout at the plate.
That's what I was just about to say, Tyler. You look at that one by Gavin Gannon, he eyes that ball in, and he is a victim of the strikeout as well as big, heavy swings. And there, I mean, he just proves it right. That big, heavy swing fouls it off to the right, but when he takes those chops, it's because he knows he can send 1 yard at any moment.
Gannon in a slump at the plate, 2 for 20 over his past 7 games. He's tied for first in the MAC in strikeouts with 61, which is actually tied for the most in a single season in Bowling Green program history, tied with Nathan Archer from last year. So he's looking to not be on the wrong side of history in terms of that record. Nathan Archer, of course, struck out 61 times last year, but also won MAC Player of the Year. So I would say it was a pretty successful season for him.
What a way to put that, Tyler. One of the best players BGSU has seen. I mean, last season covering Archer felt like every single game it was, oh, there's a record on the line here. And now you look at Garrett Wright and DJ Newman, they both have filled that hole very well in terms of accolades. Newman, who's not playing today, but he was a top 100 in the nation, a preseason All-American.
As this one's in the dirt, off and running is Horky. The throwdown, there is no throwdown from Hartman. He eats it, and Zach Horky advances to third on the wild pitch by Brower.
Zach Horky that 6'4" frame that you see, yes, he can sprint, and making that 90-foot run from second to third just effortless to the point where Hartman doesn't even opt to throw there.
So Brower's next pitch at the plate, fouled off by Gannon. But as I mentioned, with that past 7 games for Gannon, driven in just 2 runs over that span, 7 walks, but also 9 strikeouts. And talk about the strikeouts a lot with him. 19 multi-strikeout games this season for Gannon. As it misses up high for ball 4, so Gavin Gannon draws a walk, and still nobody out through the first 4 batters in this lineup for Bowling Green. It'll be runners on the corners for Caden Parker.
But that is the one thing about Gavin Gannon, is the fact that this isn't going to show up in the stat sheet, but he does battle during every single at-bat. There he forces the walk, and now Caden Parker coming up, the designated hitter.
I mean, you look at the 61 strikeouts, but that's also now 31 walks on the season for Gavin Gannon. That's the second most on the team, and that's why his on-base percentage is above 400.
And now we've got a mound meeting between Brower and his catcher Hartman, with the head coach as well joining the fray. And that's not what you want to see early if you're NIU, just because of the fact that you haven't gotten a strikeout and you're already at the 5th batter in the lineup.
And I mean, Brower went 6 innings on Friday. He threw 101 pitches. He's at threat, like you said, if he can't get this under control early, of that outing being a lot shorter here today in Bowling Green. But Caden Parker strides into the box. Parker batting .222 this season. He's driven in 21 runs this year. Went just 1 for 9 at the plate with a walk and 2 strikeouts over the weekend against the Fighting Irish. Lines this one to right field, but foul towards the bullpens over there for Northern Illinois.
And that ball high and right. He got it on the right part of the barrel on that swing, but just was unable to tweak it to the left as it breaks foul.
The next pitch from Brower, fouled off once again towards the parking lot for Slater Family Ice Arena.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tyler, I don't like where I parked my car. I parked it about 2 hours before the game started, and I knew immediately, like, I might be at risk of a broken window.
Well, see, didn't you run back to your car? You could have moved it.
It's too hot.
Brower's next pitch at the plate, chopped on the ground by Parker, but foul. So 3 straight foul balls by Caden Parker at the plate. Still runners on the corners for Bowling Green. It's Gavin Gannon over at first and Zach Corky at third. Nobody out in this bottom of the first. Bowling Green leads Northern Illinois 2-0. Falcons have 2 doubles already in this contest, which is the doubles alone more than runs they scored against Notre Dame over the weekend, which a welcome sign for this offense, as Caden Parker is rung up looking at the plate for the first out of the inning. And strikeout number 1 for Brower here today.
Obviously, that's not ideal for Caden Parker and the Falcons, but if you look at the situation they're in right now, they scored 2 early, they've got runners on the corners, and now when Tyler, just the first out of the outing for Brewer, and now you bring up Caden Bates, who he's a bat that hasn't gotten a whole lot of work this season either.
As he shows bunt, pulls it back, misses for a ball. You're right on that with Caden Bates, though. Bates, just 20 at-bats this year. He's only 3 for 20 at the plate. Went 1 for 9 with 5 strikeouts against Notre Dame. Shows bunt again, lays it down towards the right side. Brower fields it and flips over to first for the out. But coming home to score is Zach Corky, and Bowling Green's up 3-0 here in the first.
And the bunt is a big aspect of Bates' game. We saw him do it back-to-back on Saturday against Notre Dame, and he lays it down there really well, rolls it down the right line, and Brower just good speed out of him, gets the flip, but not before the run is scored. Bowling Green threatening to put up another run early, as you've got a runner on second base.
And how about that for Caden Bates, his first career RBI with the Falcons. He's scored twice this season, but that marks the first time that he's driven in a runner in his collegiate career, as it brings up another freshman in Braden Curlis.
And the freshmen on this roster are so deep. You look at Braden Curlis, Carter Motice right behind him. These are guys that got plugged in due to injury. Motice was even said that if he didn't suffer an injury at the beginning of the year, he might have been good to go at the start of the season. But they have been so solid. And Braden Curlis, his dad, he's got an interesting story. His dad played for Bowling Green. He was here during alumni weekend.
Flies this out, center field. Moving over to the right towards left center field to make the catch is Parcell, and he does just that for the third and final out of the bottom of the first. But Bowling Green strikes for 3 runs. They lead it 3-0 as we go to the second inning here at Steller Field on WBGU PBS. Jacob Turner back out on the mound of the second inning for Bowling Green, now with a 3-run lead after the Falcons' first 3 batters in the bottom of the first all came around to score. And Turner will face 5, 6, 7 in the order for Northern Illinois here in the top of the second. J.P. Gauthier, Ben Lloyd, and Cooper Cohn. Tyler Kamlitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Great to have you with us here today. Chaz, more clouds covering this field as the sunlight starting to go away a little bit. Temperature starts to cool with the winds. We'll see how that affects any fielding today with those clouds coming in and out.
Tyler, we had a bit of a debate off air just a second ago. I think that it's just one big cloud. You look at the weather report, it's not looking like it's going to rain. It might be a quick shower or something like that, but it's still a beautiful day. A lot of blue still left in the sky here.
Still low 80s, 82 degrees, only an 11-mile-per-hour breeze, which is blowing out to the outfield. So we'll see if any hitters get carry with the ball here today. We've noticed recently, it's been interesting, a lot of the wind as of late at Steller Field has been blowing in, which is usually blowing out to help the hitters as Gauthier flies this one out into left field. Coming in and making the catch is Bates. He caught off Antillion to make the first out of the inning. And just like that, 4 straight Huskies set down in order by Turner.
And Tyler, right there is where you see a little bit of, I don't want to call it caster's curse, but caster prediction. As the wind did blow that one a little bit, you look at Bates adjusting his footing. Antillion came in to just play backup essentially. And a easy fly ball, but the wind did take it.
This one chopped to the right side, going to be backhanded by the second baseman Curlis. His throw in time to get Lloyd at first. A nice play by Braden Curlis over at second base.
And a routine ground ball there to Curlis, but great speed by Lloyd as he was zooming those 90 feet from home plate to try and get to first, just not quite there.
So now brings up Cooper Cohn, the left fielder. Already 2 quick outs in this inning by Jacob Turner. Turner's a guy that when he gets in rhythm will work fast on the mound.
Big momentum guy is Jacob Turner.
Has a mid to high 90s fastball. We saw it Fifth Third Field, topped out at 97 miles per hour. Usually sat in that 95, 96 range. Fouls this one off to the back. Count goes to 0-2 on Cooper Cohn.
And Tyler, we got the opportunity to talk to Jacob Turner after that Fifth Third Field game where he had just a standout performance. Couldn't meet a nicer guy. I mean, just such a kind man.
And he's definitely one of the more calmer guys on the team. I talked with him when I was doing the story on Connor Penrod earlier in the year that Penrod was one of the guys that taught him to just be calm on the mound at all times, to not let much get to him, and to keep a steady head on his body as that one misses outside with the off speed. So the count goes even to 2 balls, 2 strikes on Cooper Cohn, looking to keep the inning alive for Northern Illinois. Bowling Green leading 3-0 in the top of the second.
And that truly is one of the bigger keys as a pitcher is you got to settle in on that bump and really just focus in on that one singular batter, because if you let the past at-bats get to you, your outing's going to go quick.
Full count pitch just misses for ball 4. That one about as close as they get. And that'll be a 2-out walk for Cooper Cone.
So a free 90 feet there for Cooper Cone.
Nolan Sandy.
And that brings up Nolan Sandy, the freshman infielder. Bats lefty. So many lefty batters in this lineup today.
5 left-handed batters in the order for Northern Illinois. You do not see that often, especially at the collegiate level. First pitch by Turner, the at-bat, misses high and outside. Sandy batting just 150 this season. This is his 30th game and 21st start of the year. He has a hit in just 7 of his 29 games played this season. And the next pitch by Turner also misses down low. So the control's starting to go a little bit for Jacob Turner.
Still very early in his outing with the amount of quick outs he's gotten, but wind blowing a little bit more to the left, trying to maybe overcorrect a bit there as you can see him going low.
Northern Illinois coming off a 3-game series against Toledo last weekend. In that series, Sandy went 1 for 3 at the plate with a walk and a strikeout. He started the Saturday and Sunday games for the Huskies. The next pitch by Turner, fastball right down Broadway for a strike. Count moves to 3 balls, 1 strike. Sandy flies this one to the left side. Chasing after is Sloan, the third baseman, but that'll go into the batting cages, past the wall. So no chance to make a play on that one as the count goes full now to 3-2.
And great decision making there by Sloan, in all honesty. Not opting into that extra cardio, sees that ball fly and just opts to let it go. And Sandy lives to see another at bat.
Turner's pitch with the runner off is fouled off to the left side. Cone will be off and running on the next pitch again with the full count and 2 outs. Turner, deep breath, next pitch, foul to the back again. Sandy doing a tremendous job at the plate, putting up a fight.
And that's really what you need to do against this Bowling Green pitching staff, is you can wear them down, and we're seeing Sandy doing that right now. The control starting to come into effect for Turner. He already gave up that 1 walk.
The next pitch is fouled off once again. This is what you want if you're Northern Illinois, though. You got 2 quick outs in the inning before a walk. These past 2 at-bats have made Jacob Turner work, have gotten this pitch count up, and they're not letting Turner work an easy inning.
And Cone just trying to get to second base. He's going to go here.
As he's going to draw another 2-out walk. So back-to-back 2-out walks issued by Jacob Turner. And that'll bring up Kyle Hartman, the bottom of the order for the Huskies.
And Hartman on the season, he's one of those guys as the 9-hole hitter with a lower batting average, 129. He's appeared in 18 games, but he's only started 8. Not a whole lot to go off of. He's got 4 hits for 5 runs and 5 RBIs. So he is able to move the base paths a bit.
Serving as the catcher today, first pitch from Turner, misses up high for a ball. Hartman, like you mentioned, the 129 batting average, just 4 for 31 at the plate on the season.
Trying to figure out what the move is.
No arms up for either team as of yet. But Northern Illinois has made Jacob Turner work. He gave up that leadoff single to begin the first inning, then got 3 straight outs to end the inning. Began the second inning with that momentum, 2 straight outs, a fly out to left and a ground out to second. But since then, Chaz, those back-to-back walks, which were both long, extended at-bats against Cooper Cone and Nolan Sandy.
And I think one of the big keys that we've seen are that both Cone and Sandy had foul balls. They weren't putting any contact into play, and I think that's a really factor because you know Bowling Green's fielding is one of the best in the MAC. They are a great fielding team.
2-1 count now after that strike thrown in by Turner.
Cone settled in at second base.
And that pitch catches the outside corner. Nice job of Garrett Wright framing it up. Umpires today behind the plate is Pete Peterson. Mark Lolo is over at first, and Sean Howard is over at third. The next pitch from Turner, chopped up the middle. That's going to be a tough play for Curlis. Gets under his glove, coming around third, and scoring is Cooper Cone. So the defensive miscue by Curlis on the slow chopper allows Cone to come all the way around and score for Northern Illinois' first run of the game, making it a 3-1 ball game.
And that's going to go as an error for Curlis, and tough. If you look at that through traffic, you have Sandy going from first base to second base, confuses Curlis a little bit, can't get a hand on the glove, can't get a glove on the ball, and now NIU sneaking in a little bit. 3-1 now is the score. Coincidentally, Falcons also out hitting the Huskies 3-1.
And fielding has been a little bit of an issue for Bowling Green over this past month. It was a major focus in that Toledo series. He had the doubleheader at Scott Park, 7 errors in 2 games, as this one drilled down the left field line by Parcel. Coming home to score is Sandy, and going into third is Kyle Hartman. It's a 2-out RBI double for Charlie Parcel.
And it's crazy to think about when this at-bat started, or this 2-out advantage, you could say, for Bowling Green. You have Gauthier with the fly out, then Lloyd grounds out, back-to-back walks, the error by Curlis, and now the double by Parcell puts the game way within reach. It's a 3-2 lead now for the Orange and Brown.
Brings up Logan Gregorio. First pitch from Turner in there for a strike. Parcell has now hit in 10 of his past 12 games. 16 hits, 6 runs batted in over that span.
And Gregorio as well, talking about him just a little bit, leads the team in slugging. He is a multiple base guy, but in his first appearance he did ground out, so he got contact.
He's been in a rough stretch, Gregorio at the plate. He is tied for first in the MAC in home runs and second in RBIs. Over his past 7 games, including today, he's hitting just 3 for 26 at the plate. As strike thrown in there by Jacob Turner, but Gregorio on the season, a .657 slugging percentage, a .324 batting average, 19 doubles, 17 home runs, and 65 runs batted in. The next pitch from Turner misses down and outside for a ball. Count even at 2-2.
Still no action in the bullpen. You just want to get this quick out if you're Bowling Green.
The next pitch from Turner inside, so that was actually a 3-2 count, and that's going to be ball 4. And Gregorio draws the 3rd walk of the inning, issued by Jacob Turner, and that's going to lead Kyle Halleck out of the bullpen for discussion on the mound.
And a phenomenal opportunity here for NIU. You've got the bases loaded. You send up Baldwin, who, as your 3-hole hitter, he's got a .324 average. He's a very solid hitter, actually tied in batting average with Logan Gregorio. And Gavin Baldwin has 61 hits on the year. He's second in the team in contact. And if you look at the situation that NIU currently have for themselves, any solid base hit could end up putting 2 more runs on the board.
Definitely could. Bowling Green would love to keep this lead going in to the bottom half of this inning and a chance to get some more pad. But you look at it now, both starting pitchers have gotten beaten up early, and both pitch counts rising fast.
And it looked to be a very solid start there for Turner, but now he's turned things around a little bit.
The first baseman, Gavin Baldwin.
So Gavin Baldwin, who popped out the first in foul territory, his first time up, steps into the box. He lines this one foul to the batting cages on the first pitch by Turner. Turner still working at a fast pace on the mound. Throws this one in, lined into left field, and that's going to get past the outstretched glove of Bates. 1 run scores. Here comes a second. They're going to round Gregorio around third, and he's going to score. It's a 3 RBI double for Gavin Baldwin, and just like that, Northern Illinois takes the lead.
Oh my goodness, Tyler. I mean, you look at that hit. It is crushed down the left field line, and Caden Bates just struggling to get a grip on it as it gets to the warning track, and that ball soars. You see it dribble down. The reach by Bates is too short, and in score 3 runners. So now it's a 5-3 advantage for the Huskies, and Bowling Green on their heels a bit with Jacob Turner on the mound.
What a second inning for Northern Illinois. So now for Baldwin, he can move him to 16 doubles on the season and 55 runs batted in on the year. He's now batting over 500, or exactly 500, and his past 10 games at the plate. Another ball thrown in by Will Couchman at the plate for Northern Illinois. Struck out to end the first inning. His first time up. 3-0 the count at the plate. Turner's next delivery misses outside. 4th walk of the inning by Jacob Turner.
And now we do have arms getting loose in the Falcon bullpen, and rightfully so, as that is going to go as yet another walk. This now officially batting around our NIU. And they've actually batted through the order as well as J.P. Gauthier is up to bat. So he started this inning with a flyout. He was one of the only 2 outs. It's crazy to think that back-to-back outs have resulted in 5 runs for NIU.
It's been a heck of a 2-out rally for the Huskies. They've done all of this damage, as he mentioned, with 2 outs in this inning. Next pitch from Turner is chopped over left side, just foul, past third base. Sloan was tracking it in before letting it go.
And if Sloan gets a hand on that ball, even as it dribbles foul, if he can stop it before it goes foul, he might be able to flip the play to maybe Antillian on third base and get the out, but that one breaks foul, so we'll do it again.
Gauthier began this inning with a fly out to left field. A nice stop behind the plate there by Garrett Wright, one of the best defensive catchers in the MAC for a reason.
And we mentioned all of the offensive prowess of Garrett Wright. He is a strong batter, gets on base very consistently, but as a catcher, he is just locked down as well, as that ball doesn't dribble by him.
Turner's next pitch low as well. So the control for Jacob Turner is all over the place at this point, after being locked in on the mound to begin this inning. It's unraveled for the right-hander.
And that really is an issue when you have the fastball too. Once you try and get more behind it, you start to lose control. And just, you see there, he's unable to locate it in the middle, and then when he gets it in the middle, it's too low.
The plate now, 3-2. Jacob Turner looking to end this long inning. His pitch is grounded over the left side. That's going to be fielded by the third baseman, Sloan. Throw across the diamond. Ganon's foot came off the bag. So safe at first is Gauthier, as Ganon's foot was drawn off the bag on the throw from Sloan. That was slightly offline.
And now we're going to have a conversation between the umpires here, Tyler.
You saw over there at first, Ganon trying to keep that foot on the bag, kind of hopping. And they're going to say that his foot came off that bag, as they will discuss it.
And I mean, this is a huge swing moment, because if that stands and Ganon's foot isn't on the bag, that's going to load the bases and send up Lloyd, who coincidentally was also an out.
And if you are, and they're going to say that he's out, so they're going to say that Gavin Ganon's foot stayed on that bag, and that'll be the final out of the inning. But Northern Illinois scores 5 in the second. They lead at 5-3 as we head to the bottom half of the second inning here at Steller Field on WBGU PBS.
Bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree, secure your future at BGSU.
That was about as bad of an inning as the Falcons have given up over this recent stretch, as Northern Illinois scores 5, only 2 hits in the frame for the Huskies, but you get an error and you get 4 walks in the inning, and Northern Illinois puts up a 5 spot. Just like that, go from a 3-run deficit for the Huskies to a 2-run advantage. Bowling Green now trailing, as Carter Motice, Garrett Sloan, and Gunnar Antillion will be the 3 up the bat to lead off the bottom of the second for Bowling Green.
And Carter Motice, I hinted at it a little bit, but he coming in as a true freshman in that Youngstown State game, he came in and really was a surprise. You and I kind of both ogled at that lineup, shocked at the move, but now .216 average on the year. He's not missed a game since that April 9th appearance at Youngstown. 20 for 20 in games played and started, and 16 hits for 11 runs. Has yet to hit a triple or a home run in his collegiate career, but he does have 4 doubles.
And we saw 2 of those in his collegiate debut at Youngstown State. Opposite field doubles at Eastwood Field.
A very big leg kick we're seeing in the form of Brewer.
As Brower's pitch misses the outside, it'll be ball 4. And the second walk issued by Brower so far here today. And Bowling Green with a leadoff base runner for the second straight inning.
And to carve into this lead, that is what Bowling Green needs. You see Carter Motice over at first base, and now up comes Garrett Sloan. Garrett Sloan is a guy that came in this season. He's coming for injuries. We've seen TJ Tackett go out, and we've seen Brady Birchmeyer, Sam Seidel not in the lineup. Sloan's one of those guys that they brought in as a replacement. He came in at third base, and currently that's what he's playing. .212 average on the year as a sophomore. This is his 22nd appearance. He also has yet to hit a triple or a home run. Not as many multiple base hits, though, just 1 double on the season.
Pickoff attempt over to first, back in safely is Motice. As you mentioned, that batting average just above the Mendoza line for Garrett Sloan. As he lays down a bunt here, going to be fielded by Brower. He'll flip it over to first for the out, but Sloan does his job, moves Motice into scoring position at second base, and sends it to the top of the order with Gunnar Antillion, who led things off at the plate for Bowling Green with a single back in the first.
And he actually ended up scoring on that double by Zach Horkey later in that first inning. And only thing he really needs to add to that stat sheet right now is an RBI. With Carter Motice in scoring position, you have the opportunity to do it. He just needed a couple pitches to figure out Brower.
Antillion, coming into today through 23 games of MAC play, is batting .337 against conference opponents with an OPS over 900. Off and running on the pitch is Motice. This one popped in the air to the right side, and it will go just over the fence there.
It looked like it rattled up against the opposing dugout of the Huskies.
Jumping for it over that fence was first baseman Baldwin.
Very athletic by Baldwin, just unable to get the grab there.
Lucky he didn't lose the glove over the fence. Would have been a little bit of an issue.
Or pokes the arm on that fence, too.
That too, chain link fence over there. So 0-2 at the plate. Brower's pitch to Antillian is swung on, grounded over to third, fielded on the knees by Kelchman. His throw across the diamond in time. Staying put at second is Motice. Now 2 outs in the inning for Bowling Green with Garrett Wright coming up to the plate.
And Garrett Wright only needed 1 pitch in his last outing with that double. And we see here that ball just chopped over to Couchman. The throw, very routine, easy grab by Baldwin as we see Antillian become the second out of the inning.
Pitcher, Garrett Wright.
Garrett Wright, reigning MAC Freshman of the Year, first team All-MAC and All-MAC defensive team honoree last season. Leads this Falcons squad in batting average, on base percentage, slugging, OPS, doubles, triples, home runs, and runs scored for the Falcons.
MAC Freshman of the Year last year.
As he flies this into right center field, chasing after it is Parcell and Gauthier. And Parcell makes the catch for the final out of the inning. As Bowling Green strands 1, they trail it 5-3. As we head to the third inning, we'll have the introduction of our trivia question when we come back on WBGU PBS.
A bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
New pitcher on the mound for Bowling Green is Owen Poole, meaning Jacob Turner's day is done after just 2 innings. We'll have his final line for you in just a second, but as always here at the top of the third, Chaz, we have the introduction of our trivia question. So I believe your streak of 2 in a row ended last broadcast, so you're looking to rebuild that streak here towards the end of the season. So I'll introduce it now. You'll have until top of the 5th to give me a final answer. So with Pete Rose, as of a couple days ago, being officially unbanned from baseball, along with Shoeless Joe Jackson and other dead players who were on the commissioner's exempt list, the question is Pete Rose themed. So it is, Pete Rose played at least 500 games at how many, or apologies, he played, he had all-star appearances and 500 games played at how many different positions? So your options are A3, B4, C5, or D6.
Can I guess D? Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna guess 6.
So an all-star appearance in at least 500 games played at how many different positions? 3, 4, 5, or 6?
I think I've heard this before, and I think I've heard that it's 5.
Okay.
But I don't know if I'm right. I know it's definitely not 6, but I've heard, 5 is just singing to me early. It's either 4 or 5 for me.
We'll see if you stick with your gut or not, as Ben Lloyd's at the plate for Northern Illinois.
So Tyler, we do have the final line.
Ben Lloyd swings and misses at that one. So Owen Poole, first at bat of the game, is a strikeout for the right-hander.
And final line for Turner, who was replaced in this inning by Poole. He went 2 innings total, 56 pitches. He allowed 3 hits for 5 runs, 4 walks, and a lone strikeout. Him and Poole now are tied in strikeouts in this game, and he faced 14 batters.
So not the greatest outing for Jacob Turner. Just got beat up with 2 outs in that second inning.
I mean, that first inning for Turner was great. He allowed a single, but then after that he had a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout, but everything started to unravel in that second.
And the crazy thing is, as found in the back there by Cooper Cone, this outing will actually help Jacob Turner in terms of his ERA, as none of those 5 runs were earned by Turner through his 2 innings and 56 pitches of work.
You gotta love baseball. Baseball is the wackiest sport I think you could imagine.
As pitched down the middle there by Owen Poole. Poole this season 4-3, 2 saves to his name, a 6.21 ERA. 19th appearance for him here. He's thrown 29 innings, 35 strikeouts to 15 walks. And he catches the outside corner there and rings up Cooper Cohen looking. So back-to-back strikeouts by Owen Poole, newly checked into this game.
And a big windup for Poole. That could be part of the reason why he's getting these batters a little bit earlier, is the fact that you look at his windup and it's just this big, heavy pull, and he just unleashes these fastballs.
And catches the outside corner, first pitch against Nolan Sandy. He was the second of Jacob Turner's 4 walks in the second inning. Part of those back-to-back walks in the last frame. Drives this one left center field. Chasing after it is Bates and Motice. It's Bates, the left fielder, who calls it and makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts for Owen Poole here in the top of the third. We head to the bottom half of the inning. Northern Illinois leads Bowling Green 5-3 on WBGU PBS.
A bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
We go to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be Zach Corky, Gavin Unn, Caden Parker, 3-4-5 in the order. 2 up for Bowling Green. Adam Broward still out there on the mound for the Huskies. Tyler Cavalitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you. Thank you all for tuning in to this WBGU PBS YouTube broadcast. It's great being on air here today at Steller Field.
And Tyler, it's so fun as a color commentator as well to be able to actually break down what the listener that we normally have in the radio broadcast, but the viewer in this case is seeing, as I could say and show you that ball leaks over to the right side for a ball.
1-1 count now. Horky, a 2 RBI double, his first time up, lines this in the right center field. That's got carry on it. Going back is Gauthier. It's at the base of the wall. Rounding second as it's misfielded to right center, and going towards third is Horky, and it's going to be a leadoff triple for Zach Horky.
Zach Horkey, oh my goodness, you're right about that one, Tyler. He lines that ball out, his first triple of the year. And there, Gauthier, he tries to field that one, but we saw that there were a couple wetness issues with the warning track. Just kind of slips on that slick surface and bobbles with the ball. The throw not in time, and Horkey sets his chair down at third base, his first triple of the season.
What a start to the game for Zach Corky. A double and a triple. Halfway to a cycle at the plate. A big swing and a miss on the high fastball by Gannon on the first pitch of his at-bat.
Gannon walked in his last at-bat.
Second career triple of the collegiate career for Zach Horkey. He had one back in 2022 as another swing and miss by Horkey. He actually had 4 triples for Royal Oak in a summer league in 2022 in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League.
And Gavin Gannon, a very interesting cleanup, guys. He's a high contact player.
Grounds over to third, going to be fielded cleanly by Couchman. Throws across the diamond for the first out of the inning, but you can give the RBI to Gavin Gannon as Zach Horkey comes home to score, and it's now just a 1-run ball game. 5-4, Huskies still ahead.
And the cleanup guy does his job there. Gavin Gannon with the short little chopper. The throw by Couchman, he opts for the shirt out at first base, throws over to Baldwin, but not before Zach Horkey makes his way home.
Brings up Caden Parker. Parker, the only strikeout victim for the Falcons so far today. Went down looking his first time up in the first inning. He was actually the first out of that first inning, and that's when the Falcons went down 3 straight after the first 4 batters reached base to begin the game. Swing and a miss by Parker as he's quickly down the count.
So 1-1's the count here on Caden Parker. He took a big hacking swing at that one, just adjusting his stance a little bit. Deep breath, and he'll try and get on base for the Falcons here.
That one wildly outside by Brower.
Brower stretching his control a little bit here. We do have a pitcher warming up in NIU's bullpen.
As that pitch catches the outside corner at the plate. So the count even at 2-2. Parker just 1 for 17 over his past 7 games. And a swing and a miss. Caden Parker down on strikes in both of his at-bats so far today. Second out of the inning. Brings up Caden Bates, who had an RBI ground out his last time up in the first.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler, that ground out came on a bunt, right?
I believe you are correct. I believe you are correct. It was a bunt towards the plate. It was fielded by Brower, and he threw it over to first.
And given the situation, I wouldn't expect Bates to go for a bunt here. Nobody on, don't want to move anybody, and that he doesn't, as he takes a big swing at that one for strike 1.
Bates just 3 for 21 this season. That RBI last time up, though, his first career collegiate RBI. As the pitch misses down and outside. He has started now 7 of the past 8 games for Bowling Green. He made his collegiate debut on March 18th against Purdue Fort Wayne. Got his first hit a few days later on March 22nd against Kent State.
And that is something that you can look for in the future with Bowling Green, is that they did have these injuries early on in junior Sam Seidel, sophomore Brady Birchmeyer.
As he swings and misses at that one.
But because of that, you've gotten these younger guys infused into this roster. Caden Bates, a freshman. Carter Motice, a freshman. You've got Braden Curlis, a freshman. Sophomore Garrett Sloan. The list goes on in these young guys.
Definitely does. Double-digit freshman playing this season for head coach Kyle Halleck. Check swing there by Bates. Fastball high in the zone. Appeal down to Mark Lowell. At first said he did not go. And now it's a swing and a miss at the plate by Bates. So he goes down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts by Brower to end this third inning. We go to the top of the 4th. Northern Illinois leading 5-4 over Bowling Green. We'll have some on this day in baseball history when we come back on WBGU PBS.
bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
To the top of the fourth, Northern Illinois leading Bowling Green 5-4. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Chaz O'Neill for the Falcon Media Sports Network. Here with you for this one, and Chaz will be putting in some on this day in baseball history as this game continues to go on in this fourth inning. As this one fouled to the back by Kyle Hartman, the 9-hole hitter, leading things off for Northern Illinois. So starting off in 1862, Chaz, on this day on May 15th, baseball's first enclosed park, the Union Grounds, opens in Brooklyn, New York. And then a year later, after tagging out St. Louis Browns outfielder Steve Brody in a collision at the plate, Cincinnati Reds catcher Harry, who went by the name Farmer Vaughn, throws a bat at Brody, hitting him on the shoulder, as this one chopped up the middle, going to be fielded by Antillion. Hard play. He won't get the throw in time. That's going to be an infield single for Hartman. But Vaughn threw a bat at Brody, hitting him on the shoulder. Vaughn was ejected and fined $25, which in today's money is worth over $1,000. St. Louis ended up winning 10-6, and they moved past the Cleveland Spiders and the Pittsburgh Pirates into first place in the league.
Okay, Tyler, I've got two tangents for you. Which one do you want?
Let's do option A as Charlie Parcell steps into the box.
So option A is this. Baseball history, by far the most intriguing history out of any sport ever. I mean, you look at some of the things that happen in the... No other sport would you get throwing a bat be some history that you talk about. It's absolutely phenomenal.
As a bunt laid down here by Parcell, but foul at the box.
That was my little tangent. Do you want the other one?
Yeah, sure, we'll go to the other.
Cleveland Guardians. Great name. I mean, the Guardians of the River. We've talked about this a lot. Cleveland Spiders, infinitely better, though.
They did have the worst winning percentage in a single season in MLB history, though.
Who cares? Spiders are a cool mascot.
I feel like that does matter, though.
Well, it matters in numbers, but in cool mascot terms, it doesn't at all.
Check swing, but held back by Parcell. I'll wait till this at-bat to get to our next on this day in baseball history, because it's an interesting one for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for the more history you've got here.
As Pohl's next pitch just misses inside corner for a ball.
Falcon fans not happy with that one. You could feel the groan throughout Steller Field here.
Pohl's next pitch up and out for a ball. Scout now full, 3-2.
Runner on first base in the form
Kyle Hartman over there.
He had a brutal ground ball.
As it's chopped over to first, Ganon dives for it, gets it out, it bobbles out of his glove, and he's not able to make a throw in time. So that will most likely go as a hard hit single there for Parcell. So runners on first and second, nobody out for Northern Illinois. But in 1894 now on this day, in the aftermath of a fierce fight between Baltimore's John McGraw and Boston's Tommy Tucker in the third, a devastating fire starts in the right field stands at Boston's South End grounds. It's Logan Gregorio stepping into the box for Northern Illinois. So that fire, Chaz, destroyed $70,000 in 1894 money worth of equipment, as well as the park, the only truly double-deck grandstand Boston would ever have. The fire spreads to adjacent blocks, since it's fouled off to the left side. The fire spreads to adjacent blocks and eventually destroys or severely damages 170 buildings. the team moves to Congress Street Ballpark for several months before returning to the rebuilt Walpole Street Park.
Unreal. And that all started because of a fight, right?
Yeah.
Unreal.
Well, I don't know if the fire started because of the fight, as that pitch misses outside for pull, but right after a fight happened, that fire just appeared in right field. 170 buildings. This one driven left center field, fairly deep. Going back is Bates and Motice, and this one clears the fence in left center field. A 3-run home run for Logan Gregorio.
His first hit of the day, might we add, and it is a big one as he notches that ball. He smokes that one over the fence. Both Bates and Motice just, I mean, they had no chance. That ball just dropped straight over. And now Bowling Green, they shrunk the lead of NIU, and NIU just tack on 3 more. It's 8-4 now here at Steller Field.
Gregorio
The first baseman, Gavin
on the
Baldwin.
season now, 18 home runs and 68 runs batted in. Incredible numbers from Gregorio as he takes sole possession of first place in the MAC in the home run category. When we talked about Garrett Wright, Gregorio's name will definitely be thrown into the hat for MAC Player of the Year here in the next couple of weeks.
And 3 straight hits, should we also add, for NIU. This is a team that, we talked about it before, not the strongest hitting team, but you wouldn't know it today. Their bats have been on fire.
8-4 lead for the Huskies. Popped up to the right side by Baldwin, but foul.
So now it's an 8-4 lead for Northern Illinois here on enemy field at Steller Field. As Baldwin's up, he had a double with 2 RBIs in his last at-bat.
Lines that one foul down the left side into the bullpens for Bowling Green. Hold off on the other 3 facts for the bottom half of this inning.
Impossible for Baldwin to get 2 RBIs in this at-bat as there's nobody on.
Chops it foul to the left side. Part of that explosive 5-run second inning. Baldwin looking to carry over that momentum at the plate here in this at-bat as he fouls this one to the left side. Clubbed that one a little bit, bottom half of the zone.
He's pulling these ones pretty far left here. You think right now he's starting to size up Poole a little bit, getting contact now, just looking to triangulate it a bit more inside.
Owen Poole's next pitch is a swing and a miss. He got Baldwin to fish out of the zone, and that's now the 3rd strikeout of the game for Owen Poole.
And Tyler, that's what happens when you're a batter and you think you've got the pitcher's number a bit, you're starting to get contact, you're going to chase a little bit more. And good job there by Poole to get him to go outside. And next up, we have another lefty batter in the form of Couchman, who struck out swinging and walked in his 2 appearances.
Just left-handed batter after left-handed batter, it feels like, in this Husky offense. As the pitch by Poole misses outside for a ball. 5 runs in that second inning for Northern Illinois. 3 more in the 4th. Here in this 4th inning on that 3-run home run by Logan Gregorio. Gives him the 8-4 lead.
As he places that one high over the zone for ball 2.
Another one misses high. 4-0 and Poole.
Now with 1 out on the board, a whole lot of damage still to be possibly inflicted by NIU with a 3-0 count.
And the 3-0 pitch finds the zone. 4-0 and Poole in there for a strike.
And Couchman with 3 outs, opts to just keep the bat on his shoulder. They're not even going to test it.
Next pitch, ground up the middle, almost hit Poole, and it gets past him and past the entire infield into the outfield grass for a 1-out single for Will Couchman. So Northern Illinois with another base runner here, and it brings up J.P. Gauthier, who's 0 for 2 on the day with a fly out and a ground out.
And you could see the Falcons there on the infield, specifically Curlis and Antillion played more in outside into the corners, and that left that second base hole wide open for the right down the middle ground ball by Couchman.
That home run allowed by Owen Poole, Chaz, marks 4 home runs allowed in Poole's past 5 appearances. And Poole coming into today had a .720 earned run average, 8 runs and 10 innings pitched over his past 4 appearances. It's been a little bit of a rough stretch for Owen Poole as of late. First pitch strike there by Poole to Gauthier. The next one, a frame by Wright, can't get it in for a strike, misses outside, count goes even.
And Wright, we've mentioned it, does a good job of preventing balls from getting to the backstop, but there, he's also a very good framer as well.
The next pitch by Poole, a swing and a miss by Gauthier. Northern Illinois out hitting Bowling Green 7-4 here so far today.
And Tyler, I gotta ask you, what do you think the worst sound to hear is as a batter? Nothing, at least to me, is worse than the big swing, and then you hear the thump of the ball hit the mitt of the catcher. What do you say?
That's up there. I think the umpire saying strike 3 would also be up there.
You know, that's a good one.
Sure, we'll go with that. Chaz's not so great umpire impression is this one clubbed high into the air to left field, fairly deep. Back at the wall is Bates, and he makes the catch at the warning track. The wind just pushing that one towards that left field wall, but keeping it into the ballpark.
And also a little intriguing, that one also keeps Couchman pinned at first base. Opted not to try and go for the steal there. So nothing really changes except for the out count as it goes to 2 outs as up comes Lloyd. Gonna get.
And first, gonna have pitch comm issue maybe here for Owen Poole on the mound. I believe it is, so they'll get that figured out, but that will bring up Ben Lloyd, like you said. Lloyd so far today has grounded out and struck out. Lloyd hitless
The second baseman.
in 3 of his past 5 games. He has not come around to score in 5 straight games. Been a little rough patch for him, batting .281 this year.
Ground out and struck out swinging.
But Ben Lloyd had an incredible 2024. A .440 batting average, a .510 on base percentage, a .610 slugging percentage in 48 games played last season at Kaskaskia College. He actually started his collegiate career at Western Kentucky, but redshirted there before moving on to Kaskaskia, and now Northern Illinois, a junior from Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. Swings and misses at that one. Count moves to 1-2.
And that's one of those situations where if you are Lloyd, you're trying to just get on base any way you can here, try and grow the lead. Runner is on, so if you can even push somebody around a little bit, that would be a strong start.
Runner off and running on the pitch that's found to the back by Lloyd. Gauthier on the season, just 3 stolen bases on 5 attempts. Or apologies, Couchman is the runner on first. Couchman has 8 stolen bases on 8 attempts. The 8 stolen bases are the second most on this Northern Illinois team.
I was just about to say, Tyler, Gauthier had that far fly
As
ball.
this one driven deep right field, going back to the wall is Horky. It's off of the wall. Rounding third and coming home is Couchman. He will score. It's an RBI double for Ben Lloyd, and Northern Illinois' lead grows even more, now to 9-4.
And that one just a big hit there at the wall. When we mentioned, Tyler, the wind, a big factor here in Bowling Green. It's actually blowing away from the warning track. It's blowing towards home plate. So because of that, you could argue if the wind's blowing any other which way, that ball is over the
Left
fence.
fielder Cooper Cone.
Brings out Cooper Cone. 0 for 1 on the day, a strikeout looking and a walk. Looks at a first pitch strike, so Cone coming into today is 0 for 8 over his previous 4 games, but before those past 4 was riding a 6-game hitting streak. So went from red hot to ice cold real quick for Cooper Cone. Still hitless here today, but has drawn a walk.
Also was struck out looking in his most recent at-bat.
That's one thing that Cone's done even through this rough stretch, though, is draw walks. He's now drawn a walk in 7 of his past 9 games. Fouls this one off to the right side. And that's why Cone's on-base percentage is still at 370, even though his batting average in the low 240s. Over the weekend, Cone was 0 for 5 against the Rockets. Looks at the ball down low and outside.
So that one, the first ball of the at-bat for Cone. You mentioned his ability to draw walks, but they're fouling back-to-back balls, trying to maintain in the count here.
Next pitch by Pohl just misses up with that off-speed. So the count goes even to 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is what we saw, this Northern Illinois offense. That's what they did to Jacob Turner a couple innings ago, is make him work late in the inning. Doing the same to Owen Pohl here, but Pohl gets out of it. Swing and a miss by Cone, strikes him out for the 2nd straight at bat. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Northern Illinois leading Bowling Green 9-4 here on WBGU PBS.
Bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
Braden Curlis, Carter Motice, and Garrett Sloan, the 3 to start this inning for Bowling Green at the plate. And as I said, Chaz, 4th inning still, so continuing this on this day in baseball history as this at-bat with Curlis begins. Almost hits him in the head there with the off-speed. So on this day, May 15th, 1901, the first shutout in American League history during its time as a major league is recorded as Waddy Lee of the Washington Senators blanks the Boston Americans 4-0. And then in 1911, Ring Lardner writes on this day in 1911, they are using a new ball this year. It's livelier, and that means more hitting, and more hitting means longer games, and that's the devil. It appears to be impossible to finish a game in less than 2 hours, which, as Braden Curlis struck out looking there on the outside corner, 3 straight strikeouts for Brower. Completely different ball game now than it was back in 1911. I mean, you're still in the dead ball era there for about another decade until Ray Chapman gets killed by a pitch, which kind of ushers in the end of the dead ball era and the Babe Ruth era, you can call it. But you know, the tinkering of the baseball is not something new that a lot of people talk about. It's been done for over a century, as this one's flown to the left field by Motice and caught by the left fielder Cone for the quick second out of the inning.
I will say, Tyler, I mean, who made that statement about the ball being live?
That was Ring Lardner.
First off, great name. If Ring Lardner was at some of the games that we have called, there was the one that went, what was it, nearly 5 hours?
4.5, I think.
It was like 4:45 or something like that. I don't think Ring would have been very happy.
No, I don't think either. First pitch misses for a ball to Garrett Sloan. And then final on this day in baseball fact, on this day in 1912, Ty Cobb charges into the stands at Hilltop Park in New York and attacks a crippled heckler named Claude Luker. Other fans and Tigers mix it up before order is restored. Ban Johnson suspends Cobb indefinitely for the incident.
Ty Cobb also, you were telling me, one of the craziest baseball players just ever.
Used to sharpen up his cleats before the games with just the sole purpose of cleating players when he went to steal base.
Sole purpose? Oh, come on.
As this one misses outside by Brower. That's about a 3 out of 10 there.
Oh, that's a 20 out of 10. That was a great pun.
2-2 count at the plate. On Garrett Sloan, looking to continue the inning with 2 outs for Bowling Green.
Soles of your feet, you know.
Well, yeah, I connected
Hammer it
that.
home. All right. Garrett Sloan ground out on a bunt in his last at bat, and I gotta commend Brower here. He has turned around this game for himself.
With this pop foul behind us.
He
by Sloan.
Started with 3 hits back to back to back to open the game, a walk, and then went 1, 2, 3. Bowling Green have only scored 1 run since, and that was on a ground out RBI by Gavin Gannon in the top or the bottom of the 3rd.
So Brower's next pitch misses for a ball, and that's going to be ball 4 drawn by Garrett Sloan. Just the 3rd walk allowed on the day by Brower here in the 4th inning.
And now up comes Gunnar Antillion. And Antillion, he has that single to open play, but after that he did ground out. So looking for a little bit more solid contact on Brower. But since that first inning, that has been hard to come by. The only real smudge on Brower's record since those back-to-back-to-back hits was the triple by Zach Horkey in the top of the 3rd.
Antillion's been phenomenal for Bowling Green this season. Fouls it to the back. Came into the game with a .333 batting average, 3rd best on this team. 12 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. He has just 2 multi-strikeout games this season. He's been great at putting the bat on the ball. As he looks at a ball, close, but a ball. Count goes to 2-1. Count actually 1-1. Apologies there.
And Gunnar Antillion, he has been a journeyman, to say the least.
As he flies this out center field fairly deep, going back is Parcell. He's at the warning track, and he makes the catch as he goes into the wall for the final out of the inning. So Bowling Green strands their 3rd base runner of the day. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, we'll have the reveal of our trivia question when we come back. Northern Illinois leading Bowling Green 9-4 here on WBGU PBS.
Bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
New pitcher in the game for Bowling Green is Luke Kraus. Kraus replaces Owen Poole. We'll have his final line for you in just a second. But Luke Kraus, a left-hander, who at times for Bowling Green this season has been able to give Kyle Alec some long-form relief.
Yeah, Tyler, before we get into Kraus a little bit, let's talk about Owen Poole. He followed out Jacob Turner, who started the game. Poole also went 2 innings. He pitched just 6 less than Turner. He went 50 pitches, gave up 5 hits for 4 runs. All 4 of those runs were earned. He didn't walk a batter, and he struck out 4. He faced 11.
The batting order, the shortstop, Nolan Sandy.
Kraus will begin by facing Nolan Sandy, Kyle Hartman, and the top of the order with Charlie Parcell. Kraus is a junior left-hander, 6'2", 199 from Antwerp, Ohio. 2-1 this season, a .528 earned run average. This is his 16th game, his 13th in relief. He's thrown 30 2/3 innings, 22 strikeouts to 14 walks. Finally finds strikes down there on the outside corner. Last time we saw Kraus was on the 7th against Butler. He threw 4 innings, giving up 5 hits and 3 runs, 2 of which were earned as the Rainbow off-speed pitch finds the zone. 3 walks and 3 strikeouts in that outing, which spanned 67 pitches. The next pitch by Kraus misses down low.
And we saw right there that Sandy was ready for all of it there, but he pulls it back last second to take the ball.
And that one also barely misses by Kraus. And it's a leadoff walk for Luke Kraus and the Falcons. We'll get into some more around the MAC as we get later in this broadcast, but Toledo up over Central Michigan, 14-0 in the bottom of the 4th.
Oh my goodness. We were talking about this off air. What has happened to that Central Michigan team of years past?
It is, ever since their head coach of years left, a couple years ago, that Central Michigan team has really suffered. And they just have not been able to replicate that success for years. Central Michigan was one of, if not the best, baseball program in the Mid-American Conference. They had just 17 wins last season, their fewest in a full season since 1961.
I mean, 1961, did they even have toasters back then? Makes you wonder, you know?
I was going to say 8 years before the moon landing, but
The fact that you know that off the top of your head.
I feel like that's a year that most people know.
The moon landing?
Yeah.
See,
As
it
this
was,
one grounded foul down the left field line, just left of that third base bag, past Garrett Sloan. Count stays at 1-2.
you are much more of a history guy than I am. I will say.
Yeah, 1969.
What was your in school? What was your favorite class?
Probably history.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
See, I was a science guy, or English.
The next pitch by Kraus misses inside for a ball. Yeah, mine would probably be history and math.
Ooh,
I think
math?
we're my
That's
two.
brutal. You're telling me one of the most stat-oriented people I know was into math and history?
Who would have guessed, right?
Oh my gosh.
The next pitch from Kraus misses down low. Count goes full to 3-2.
Kraus struggling here to find the zone a little bit. We haven't seen as much contact out of NIU just yet as they face Kraus, still trying to figure him out.
This is how they've gone in their advantageous positions today, though. It's being patient at the plate and rung up looking is Kyle Hartman. He was on his way down to first thinking that was ball 4. Instead, he'll head back to the dugout for the first time today.
And that will send up Parcell, who has been on fire. He started off with a single, then he got a 2 RBI double, then a 3 RBI single.
Parcell has
Or a
been
3 RBI, or a no RBI single, excuse me. Don't know how that would even be possible.
Parcell's been on fire today at the plate, to say the least. Those first 3 in the order for Northern Illinois, 7 RBIs between them today so far. They have been trouble for Bowling Green. as it's a 2-0 count on Parcell early. Luke Krause struggling to find the strike zone here, does just that with the fastball.
A lot more patience coming out of the NIU bats as they face a new pitcher. But Krause there making Parcell pay a little bit as he laces one right down the middle of this delivery.
His next pitch in there for a strike. And it makes sense to put a guy like Luke Krause in for some long relief if he can get you it. Left-handed arm against a lineup with 5 left-handed bats in it.
Also, interestingly, we saw Parcell there opt for the bunt.
Did see he wanted to go for it, pulled it back. Not showing it here as he flies this one up. Looked like a possible hit and run there with Sandy off just after the pitch, and it's caught in center field by Motais. Looked like that's what NIU wanted to do. Sandy kind of waited until contact was made by Parcell to get off and running. Was almost at the bag at second before having to retreat with Motais making the catch.
Now, Tyler, I'm going to make a little bit of a hockey reference here, but it's like, from what we've seen so far in this game, it's almost like NIU's on the power play. They're at their 2-out margin, and we've seen them just explode offensively once they get those 2 outs. But
they have had a lot of success today with 2 outs, as it's a first pitch strike to Logan Gregorio by Luke Krause. Last time up, Gregorio set a 3-run home run into right field, into the trees out there in right field. As the next pitch is grounded to left side through the hole in the infield, and that'll be a 2-out single for Gregorio. And here you go again. Here's this 2-out offense of Northern Illinois.
And we see that strong hit there by Gregorio. That forced Sloan. He decides to go play in to third base in case Sandy tries to go for 3. And because of that, he doesn't put a play on that ball, so it rolls over to Bates in the outfield.
The first baseman,
and now
Baldwin.
2 runners on. You've got a runner in scoring position in the form of Sandy. This is big business here with Baldwin up to bat.
Gavin Baldwin, 1 for 3 on the day, is 1 hit, a 3 RBI double. Back in the second inning. Fouls the first pitch off to the back. Luke Krause looking to get out of this inning, get the Bowling Green bats up to the plate here in the 5th. It almost slipped me, but we do have to reveal the answer of that trivia question. So Chaz, the
final answer.
Trivia question, okay. So the trivia question was Pete Rose, an all-star game appearance and at least 500 games played at how many positions? And you are going to lock in 5 officially?
Yes, I am.
All right, as the next pitch misses inside, you are correct. It is 5, so Chaz, 3 out of his last 4, look at that. Played second base, right field, left field, third base, and first base. An all-star game appearance and at least 500 games played at all 5 of those positions throughout his illustrious career.
And I believe I broke the Kyle curse there with every single time Sports Information Director Kyle Edmond gets it right, I get it wrong. There.
I always give him a little bit of a preview, let him take a stab at it, give me a read on how hard the question truly is.
The bad news is, Tyler, I knew that beforehand.
Well, that's good that you knew that, though.
Yeah. Huge Pete Rose fan.
I had to do something Pete Rose themed with the recent news.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love the...
I think you could argue that the Pete Rose news recently is the biggest baseball news since the cheating scandal by the Astros.
Oh, yeah.
I think would be a pretty big consensus there.
Biggest baseball news, 100%.
As the 2-strike pitch is flown out left center field. Settling under it is Motais, and moving over makes the catch for the final out of the inning. And we go to the bottom half of the 5th. Northern Illinois still leading Bowling Green 9-4 here at Steller Field on WBGU PBS.
bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
Garrett Wright, Zach Corky, Gavin Gannon, 2-3-4, due up for Bowling Green here at the bottom of the fifth. And Chaz, Bowling Green has a little bit of a hole to dig themselves out of in the back half of this contest. Down 9-4 against the Huskies. Wright starts off the inning, left center field, fairly deep, and it's going to be caught by the center fielder Parcell. So one pitch, one out for Adam Brower, still out there on the mound for Northern Illinois. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Brower has gone at least 6 innings 6 times this season, looking, if he can get through these next 2, to make it 7.
And it's crazy to think, Tyler, that at the start of the first, we were talking about if Bowling Green was going to get to retire Brower early with how much work they were getting on him. But since then, he's only allowed 1 hit since that big blow-up moment.
He has definitely settled in on the mound. As Zach Corky up to bat for the Falcons.
Corky, one of the bigger bodies on the team, standing at 6'4".
Pitch count now past 70 for Brower. As I mentioned also earlier in the broadcast, he threw 101 pitches last time out, last Friday, so he still has more in the tank, you would have to think. Sun has now fully covered the field here as the clouds continue to creep by. The next pitch from Brower misses down low. Corky has a great day underway. 2 for 2, a 2 RBI double and a triple, halfway to the cycle. As he lines this in left field, and there's the single. So Zach Corky now just needs the home run to complete the cycle here at Steller Field.
Corky having an absolute game right now, Tyler. You mentioned the double, the triple, but the solid continued contact out of Zach Corky is absolutely ridiculous. I mentioned since that big blow-up inning by Brower, he's only allowed 1 hit. That 1 hit was the triple by Corky. Corky has a number on Brower right now as up comes Gavin Gannon.
A little bit of an equipment issue first with Hartman, the catcher. Get some of those that catcher's gear figured out. As Gavin Gannon will be up the bat. Gannon 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out, but it was an RBI ground out back in the 3rd. He walked his first time up. He was the first of 3 walks here today so far by Brower. As Gavin Gannon steps in. And the first pitch to Gannon, thought about going, held back. It's in there for a strike on the outside corner.
Gavin Gannon, 2-time academic All-MAC. One smart cookie, as well as a very strong batter for Bowling Green.
And he lines this one fair down the left field line. That's going to go into the corner. Coming around second is Horky. They're going to send him around third. Here he comes. There's not going to be a throw home. It's going to be an RBI double for Gavin Gannon. His 2nd RBI on the day, and it's now a 9-5 game.
That's what you need, Tyler. Out of a cleanup guy, you've got a runner on first base and just a smoked double that goes to the right of the bag so it stays fair, then it ekes over to the left, so more distance for Cone to travel, the left fielder. And because of that, that buys enough time for Horky to cross home plate as up comes Caden Parker.
And here comes a mound visit for Brower. And I was just thinking in my head, now you have the question, how long of a leash do you have on Adam Brower? Pitch count, mid-70s. climbing closer to 80 every pitch. You have had a guy up in the bullpen for a little bit, and they are going to make that switch, so it will be the end of the line for Adam Brower. New pitcher coming into the game for Northern Illinois when we come back here on WBGU PBS. Northern Illinois leading 9-5.
A bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
The new pitcher into the game on the mound for Northern Illinois is Danny Sayahaki. He replaces Adam Brower, who went 4 1/3 innings pitched today. Sayahaki, a sophomore right-hander, 6'3", 185 from Princeton, Illinois. Just 1-3 on the year, but does have 5 saves to his name. A 657 earned run average. This will be his 21st appearance, 20th out of the bullpen. 37 innings pitched, 42 strikeouts to 21 walks for Sayahaki. And Sayahaki, a guy that played last season at Lakeland College before making his way here to the MAC for Northern Illinois.
NIU was one of those teams that was very savvy in the transfer portal this last season. Not the best season for the Huskies last year, missed the MAC tournament, but looking to bounce back over the next couple seasons.
As Ken Parker at the plate fouls off the first pitch, Sayahaki in his senior year of high school was top 20 in the state of Illinois in strikeouts with 68. And you can see the 42 strikeouts in 37 innings pitched this season representing that. As this one runs up inside, and that's going to hit Horky, I believe, up on the hand, up by his shoulder. That was the lead hand, the left hand of Parker. Parker shaking it off, walks down to first. He'll be good to go, it appears.
And he's taking off those gloves, just getting a look at the hand. Seems like he's good, but that was not a fun one, as many hit-by pitches are not.
And you immediately think when it's up high and in, you watch out for the head. You always worry for that, but brings up Kaden Bates, running on first and second for the freshman. And Bates lines this into right field. That's going to settle in front of Gauthier. They're going to send it on around third. Here comes the throw. He's safe. And it's going to be an RBI single by Kaden Bates. His first 2 collegiate RBIs coming today against the Huskies. It's a 9-6 game.
Bowling Green, they just need slow, methodical hits here. And look at the speed of Ganon making his way home. Gotta love the way that Braden Curlis was just encouraging Ganon back. And Kaden Bates, you mentioned it, 2 collegiate RBIs at the exact same moment. And Bowling Green right back in business here.
Still runner in scoring position on second for Braden Curlis. Few names still missing from the Bowling Green lineup here today, Chaz. No DJ Newman, no Sam Seidel, no Brady Birchmeyer, no TJ Tackett, and no Alex Laird. 5 names that we've seen quite a bit this season, all out. Brady Birchmeyer and Sam Seidel. We talked to head coach Kyle Halleck after that last Notre Dame game and said that he's hoping to get them in some baseball pants over the next week or so. So you're hoping to have them back by the MAC tournament, middle of the next week. As the next pitch misses down low. Sam Seidel and Brady Birchmeyer both dressed for today's game. Saw them out there helping as part of the grounds crew before contest got underway. As Curlis flies this to the right side. Coming in is Gauthier, and going out is Lloyd. That'll settle down in front of them. And advancing to third is Caden Parker. Caden Bates moves to second. Braden Curlis to first. And just like that, in a 9-6 ball game, you have the game leading run at the plate in the form of Carter Motice, and still just one out in the inning as 5 straight base runners have 5 straight hitters have reached base for Bowling Green, 4 of them with hits.
Gauthier, and you had Gauthier and Lloyd there, just a little bit of a miscommunication as that ball is just dropped right down. And you're right, Tyler, bases loaded, big opportunity. Bowling Green right back in this baseball game.
Carter Motice 0 for 1, a fly out to left. He's also walked. The next pitch to him misses down low for a ball. 2-0 to begin the at-bat for Motice. Garrett Sloan awaits on deck. He also 0 for 1 with a walk. Motice, one of 3 freshmen in the order for Bowling Green here today. Looks at a ball down low. We've seen as many as 4 or 5 freshmen in the lineup for Bowling Green in games this season.
And if you're NIU, this is not the moment that you want the pitcher that you just brought out to give up a walk to
the 3-0 pitch right down the middle for a strike, and it's definitely not. You definitely want to get some length and effectiveness out of him. Carter Motice still had 3-1 in the count. Dribbles this one up the middle. That's going to be fielded by the shortstop, Sandy. He steps on second for 1 and throws the first for the inning-ending double play. So the Falcons strand 3 on the base paths, but they do score 2 more. Now a 9-6 game as we head to the top of the 6th here at Steller Field on WBGU PBS.
2 runners left.
Bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
Will Couchman, J.P. Gauthier, and Ben Lloyd due up for Northern Illinois here to begin the 6th inning. As you see the clouds hanging overhead of Steller Field here today, still sitting high 70s, low 80s in Bowling Green, Ohio. But that wind, that is a breeze of 10-15 miles per hour, cooling it down a little bit here at the field, or at least up in the press box.
Yeah, Tyler, to those watching and listening, had to do a quick outfit change, had the undershirt on, had to make the quick switch because it was so hot. Now it's getting a little chilly with this breeze. I don't know
if I'd categorize it as chilly just yet, but Luke Krause's next pitch misses down and outside. 1-2 count now on Will Couchman. Couchman 1 for 3 on the day as Lone hit a single back in the 4th his last time up. As he lines this into left field, some carry on it. Going back is Bates. He looks up, and that one's over the wall and out of here. That one just a hard line drive out to left field. The wind helped push it, and it's a solo shot for Will Couchman. As Couchman, his 9th homer and 29th run batted in on the season, breaks double digits for NIU, and they're now up by 4 once again, 10-6.
And that's just unfortunate for Luke Krause, but as a whole, Bowling Green, they knew going into this game that this was a NIU team that is just such a strong batting team. And you look at this ball, lofts way over the head of Bates, and he's got nothing to do but just watch it fall.
And that's one of those that he's had a few times here today where the ball just carried on him. He tried to play it like normal, then realized he had to go back, and like you said, nothing you could do once he hit that warning track too high to make an attempt to rob it and into the pine trees in left field. So that one misses outside against Gauthier. Gauthier 0 for 3 on the day. He has struggled in his career against Bowling Green, Chaz. J.P. Gauthier last year was 0 for 9 against the Falcons with 6 strikeouts. And he comes into today's game 5th in the conference in strikeouts with 50 on the season.
And now he's sitting at a 2-2 count on Krause. And Gauthier, he also had that fielding mishap on that triple by Zach Horkey where he just kind of slipped, couldn't find his footing. So yeah, you're right, Tyler. Just a tough series of events through multiple games and multiple years in his career.
But he looks at a ball up high there, ball 4. And that'll be a walk for J.P. Gauthier. First time he's reached base so far today. And it will be the second walk issued by Luke Krause. The first was his first batter of the game, Nolan Sandy.
Ben Lloyd, second base.
Brings up Ben Lloyd. Lloyd an RBI double last time up, Chaz.
He did, Tyler. The other thing about his game, though, he did have a strikeout swinging. So he looks at ball number 1, or strike number 1 here. Lloyd, coming into this game, had a 281 average, 50 hits for 36 runs, 2 homers, has yet to hit a triple so far this season, and 13 doubles, 388 slugging.
Down in an 0-2 count after that swing and a miss that pulled him off the ball. The lefty-lefty matchup. Next pitch fouled off at the plate. RBIs have come all over the place so far for Northern Illinois. Charlie Parcell has 1. Logan Gregario has 3. Gavin Baldwin with 3. Will Couchman and Ben Lloyd each with 1 apiece. The next pitch from Krause is lofted to the left field, straight towards Bates. Has to take a few steps back before corralling it for the first out of the inning.
And just we mentioned Bates being just a freshman. He's seen some time being plugged in and out of this order, but very big for him in this game because
Cooper Cone, left
the
field.
fly balls have just been drawn to him. We just saw he did give up that home run. Didn't give it up. You watched it go over the fence from Couchman, but as a whole, he's been very reliable on that left side.
He has definitely been. Brings up Cooper Cone. Cone 0 for 2 on the day, 2 strikeouts, 1 swinging, 1 looking, and a walk. He's had a rough day at the plate. Has reached space once on that walk, but not able to get anything going with the bat off his shoulders. Looks at a strike there. Count goes even, a 1-1. Another left-handed batter, Nolan Sandy, awaits on deck. Pitch misses inside, turning away from it is Cohen. And there is the traditional double play set up for Bowling Green here. That would end the inning for the Falcons. They would love to have that, get the bats back up here in the bottom half of the inning after stranding the bases loaded last time up to the plate.
And that would be the first double play we'd seen out of the Falcons all game. We saw it on NIU's side as they got Curlis and Bates back to back.
And the next pitch misses down and outside by Luke Kraus. Second walk of the inning, third walk of the outing for Kraus.
As there's, I believe, a B in here. No, it used to be a B.
The shortstop, Roland Sandy.
As the open press box leads for some animals and bugs to, not so much animals, mainly just bugs. I don't think I've seen like a squirrel or anything.
I don't think I have either. We had a bee in the press box, no longer.
Yeah, we have the remains of a bee in a press box now.
Still got a few flies hanging around here, I think. Think they'll be okay to stay. For now, at least. As this one driven to right field by Sandy, going back is Horky. That's going to be at the base of the wall. As there's going to be a runner situation here, all switched up. And Bowling Green's not going to be able to capitalize anything. Garrett Wright a little shaken up as he slid on that grass.
He did a high jump.
You had Cone catching up to Gauthier, rounding second towards third. And heading towards second was Sandy. So there was two runners on second. All Bowling Green needed to do was throw to first to get an out. The throw came into Garrett Wright as you see it hit the base of the wall. So the throw comes in. They just need to get it to first here. Goes to Garrett Wright. And when he plants, he slips on that grass that's still, you have to remember, a little muddy, a little wet from the recent rain that we had. He's going to stick in the game. One of the toughest, if not the toughest players on this Falcons team, but you miss getting the out, and Garrett Wright gets a little shaken up. Not what you want to see in that sequence of events for Bowling Green.
And you can tell from Kyle Halleck walking out there, not happy with that decision. It puts your best player at risk when injuries are already a massive issue, as well as you had an out right there, just hanging in front of your face. Couldn't grab it. Instead, you just let it sneak by on a bit of the jam.
And that's going to be one of the longer singles that you'll see here at Steller Field. Ball went off the base of the wall on the State University lettering in right field. And Sandy's just going to be held up at first with that base running by the Huskies. I mean, Cone was on the heels of Gauthier going to third, and they held up Gauthier from coming home. Created that whole dilemma as the pitch misses up high and outside.
And an advantageous start here for Luke Kraus. The count's at 1-2, but unable to send Hartman packing on that one, who went out looking in his last at-bat.
The next pitch is chopped over the left side, and that's going to be muffed by Sloan, but he retains possession, and the throw is in time. So nice recovery by Garrett Sloan to get Hartman out, but coming home to score is Gauthier, so you can tag the RBI to Hartman, and it's now an 11-6 Northern Illinois lead.
Tyler, you could argue right there with that bobble from Sloan, if he gets the throw into right there, you could get a very uncharacteristic double play. It would have been very difficult, but the options there, you limit the run. But now nobody on first, runners in scoring position on second and third. As up comes the top of the order with Parcell, with 3 straight hits and then a fly out.
He showed bunt there, pulled it back on the high pitch. That double was an RBI double. Flew out to center field though his last time up. Doesn't show bunt here. Looks at another high fastball. So ahead of the count, 2 balls, no strikes. This inning was led off by Will Couchman, a solo home run. Kyle Hartman got the second run batted in of the inning just now with that RBI ground out. That's a big kind of miss by Charlie Parcell. Northern Illinois scored 5 in the second, 4 in the fourth, and now 2 here in the sixth. As this one's flown out to shallow left field. Coming in to make the catch is Kaden Bates, and that'll be the end of the inning. So Northern Illinois strands 2 runners, but they also scored 2. They now lead 11-6 as we head to the bottom of the sixth here at Steller Field on WBGU PBS.
bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
Back here at Steller Field, it'll be Garrett Sloan leading things off in the bottom of the 6th inning for Bowling Green. Then we'll go top of the order with Gunnar Antillion and Garrett Wright. Raymond Cotis, one of the videographers today for WBGU PBS, helping us get all these angles for this broadcast.
That was him, the executive producer of The Swoop.
Which you were the host of.
That I was. I graduated though, so I no longer will be.
If we do get it up and running next year, Kevin Hutchinson will be the man to look for. So stay tuned for more updates with that in the fall for Falcon Media Sports Network and BG24. But this one is lofted into left field by Garrett Sloan. Shallow left field for a leadoff single. So the Falcons get their leadoff runner on to begin the 6th.
And that one's just a very quick hit by Sloan to send us to the top of the order with Gunnar
Top of the
Antillion.
order, the shortstop, Gunnar Antillion.
Antillion 1 for 3 on the day. A single back in the 1st, but since then it's been a ground out and a fly out. First pitch by Danny Syhockey, still in the game. Misses down and outside with the off-speed. You know, all in all, this field, Chaz, still looks pretty good with the amount of rain that we've had over this past month or so.
You can see the mow lines on
the stripes out there in right and left center field. Got a shout out on Sports Center not too long ago as this one's lined into right center field. That's going to move Garrett Sloan all the way to 3rd. So 1st and 3rd for Bowling Green here in the 6th with nobody out. That brings up the best hitter on this team, and Garrett Wright.
And Antillion and Wright are really forming into a dynamic duo here.
Yeah.
Not in the Batman and Robin sense, in the Batman and Superman sense.
You know, it just, you hate to play the what-if game with injuries, but you wonder, what if you add DJ Newman into it?
Yep.
Then what if you add Brady Birchmeyer behind them? Then what if you throw in Sam Seidel somewhere in the lineup? And you hate to play the what-if game. It's still a dynamic duo nonetheless, but Garrett Wright grounds this to short. That's going to be flipped for a double play. Wright does get the RBI, though, as Garrett Sloan comes home to score. But just like that, there's 2 outs in the inning, and that's back-to-back innings now. You had bases loaded with 1 out, double play to end it. Runners on 1st and 3rd, double play brings home a run, but results in 2 outs.
Now, Tyler, though, we do have Zach Horky up. This will be his first time going up against this pitcher, but he had the triple, the double, the single. A homer makes it a cycle as he looks in at strike number 1.
First pitch strike to Zach Horky. He is just that home run away from the cycle. Has that one also in there for a strike. Can't remember a cycle that I've seen here in person at Steller Field.
No.
Since I've been here for my 3 years.
What's the most memorable cycle you think you can remember in your lifetime?
The most memorable cycle is a little different kind of a cycle. I remember when Mike Trout completed the home run cycle for the All-Star game. That's the one cycle that I really remember, as this one chopped over to short. Bad hop, but a nice play by Sandy, and a tremendous job by Baldwin at keeping his foot on the bag on the high throw. And that ground out is how the 6th inning ends. So we go to the top of the 7th here at Steller Field. Bowling Green trailing Northern Illinois 11-6 on WBGU PBS.
bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
Seventh inning here at Steller Field. As you can see, the runs displayed on the scoreboard out there in right center field, 11-7. Northern Illinois with the slight advantage as we head to the later innings here in this contest. First pitch in there by Kraus for a strike to Logan Gregorio. It's Gregorio, Baldwin, and Couchman. 2-3-4 due up for Northern Illinois as this one popped into left field. Shading the sun away is Antillian, and moving out the shortstop makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So a quick first out for Luke Kraus and the Falcons.
Yeah, that ball, Tyler, just popped up there by Gregorio, excuse me. Gregorio having a very tough game in terms of good performance. It's a very strong, rugged performance. He's got the 3 RBI home run and then the single. But that flyout does not help his cause.
Swing and miss by Baldwin on the first pitch he sees. Some around the MAC right now here in the 7th. Akron currently leading Mercyhurst in a non-conference battle in the 8th inning. 14-8 that in Akron. Miami up over Ball State 3-0 in the 6th in Muncie. Of course, the NIU Bowling Green here at Steller Field. Toledo's lead over Central, now 18-0 in Toledo in the 6th. That one will most certainly finish in the 7th with the run rule. And Kent State leading over Eastern Michigan 4-2 in the 7th. And Ypsilanti, as this one's lined to the left field past a jumping Antillian for a one-out single for Gavin Baldwin.
Second hit of the day for Baldwin. He's got the 2 RBI double. He also struck out swinging with 2 flyouts.
The third baseman, Will Couchman.
Brings up Will Couchman. Couchman last time out, a solo home run last frame. The pitch from Kraus is fouled off to the left side. Ohio and Western Michigan also underway. As a pickoff attempt over to first, back in time is Baldwin. It's Ohio leading Western Michigan 6-2. That one in the bottom of the 6th. Western Michigan, the reigning MAC tournament champions. This one fouled off to the left side. That'll be on past the batting cages there, past the Bowling Green dugout. Couchman, overall 2 hits on the day. He's 2 for 3 with a walk, a single, home run, and a strikeout. Luke Kraus's next pitch, a swing and a miss. Couchman down on strikes for the second time today, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th.
And up comes Gauthier. Gauthier has yet to record a hit. He is just one of 2 batters by NIU to not get a hit yet today. He's got a flyout, a ground out, a flyout, and a walk in his 4 appearances.
Just saw Gavin Baldwin over there at first. Baldwin on the season does not have a stolen base, has not attempted to steal base yet this year. As Luke Kraus looks over to first, now delivers, and it's a swing and a miss at the plate.
You can see the Bowling Green logo painted into the field below the catcher there, Gary Wright.
A little beat up at this time of year, but still showing. Another pickoff attempt. That's what I was saying earlier, but those stripes shouted out on SportsCenter Top 10.
Well, I think the play by Gunnar Antillian what was mainly shouted
Well,
out,
they did, but the host also shouted out the groundskeeping, is what I was going at. I can't remember the last time, though, BGSU Baseball had a SportsCenter Top 10. I know Finn Hogan got number 1. That was the Old Dominion game. Or not the Old Dominion, the Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Apologies, Georgia Tech. Definitely not the Old Dominion game.
I was going to say, Tyler, your ball knowledge, I find your lack of ball knowledge disturbing.
It's kind of crazy.
I know.
But
And a Star Wars reference that you didn't catch on to either, so. Tyler's 0 for 2 today. Here in this game.
end of the season.
Yeah. Brain a little toasted.
It's been a long journey. Next pitch by Krause has popped up to the right side. Fairly deep right field. Horkey fighting off the sun to chase it, and he does just that. Makes the catch to end the inning. So only takes 4 batters for Luke Krause to get through the top of the 7th. We go to the 7th inning stretch, that bottom half of the inning. Northern Illinois leading Bowling Green 11-7 here at WBGU PBS.
It's the middle of the 7th inning.
University. We are a public university for the public good. A nationally ranked research university, we create public good through our graduates who lead and our collective pursuit of impact in Ohio and beyond. Founded in the Midwest, we never shy away from hard work. We embrace our responsibility to do good. We are proud to have state in our name. It's who we are, always striving forward. Always a public university, always for the public good.
Seventh inning stretch at Steller Field, and we're getting a little look back at how all this scoring has been done.
As we are going to have the RBI double by Zach Horkey here. The celebration as Gunnar Antillian comes in to score. And then you're going to have Parcell now come in and get the score. A whole lot of scoring here today. You've got the hit on the left side that went around and over to the throw in not in time. Another big hit here as you have Bates chasing after it, unable to get the throw.
And that was the 3 RBI double by Gavin Baldwin there. That scored 3 for the Huskies. And it's been Northern Illinois just a step ahead of Bowling Green so far today. Do get a look here at Gavin Gannon.
Double for the single RBI that brought Zach Horkey home.
And now back to live action as the first pitch misses up high against Gavin Gannon, the batter at the plate for Bowling Green. Still on the mound is Danny Saihaki for the Huskies. Appreciate everyone that's either tuned in or stayed with us throughout this broadcast. It's been a fun one so far. Northern Illinois looking to hold on to this 4-run lead in the later innings. Bowling Green looking to mount a comeback as they have done so many times this season. 2-1 count now at the plate on Gavin Gannon. Gannon, 2 RBIs on the day. He's 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. The next pitch stops the outside corner by Saihaki, and the count goes even to 2-2. Gannon, Parker, Bates, 4, 5, 6 due up here in this 7th for Bowling Green. Saihaki's next delivery, a swing and a miss for Gavin Gannon. So Gannon officially the most strikeouts in a single season in Bowling Green program history, number 62 at the plate for number 14.
Yeah, that's not the type of history you want to be in, Tyler. Now, you got to look at also the big accomplishments of Gannon. A very hard hitter. And that style of game, we saw that from Nathan Archer as well.
Yeah.
Nathan Archer, one of the better athletes in Bowling Green history, you could argue, with the season he had last season.
Definitely could. Playing in the minors right now. Nathan Archer, technically reigning MAC Player of the Year. No chance for him to repeat. Nathan Archer currently in Kannapolis. And in the single-A team for the White Sox, batting .258 this season. He's driven in 14 runs, 6 doubles, and 2 home runs on the year, along with 10 stolen bases for Nathan Archer.
Bit of a slow start for him, but he has been heating up. His outside heats up, you could argue,
Yeah.
as it gets more into summer.
That average has floated up and down, as it's going to be a check swing and a miss as Kenny Parker went around. So 2 straight strikeouts here by Cy Hockey
And
for
the
2 quick outs in the 7th.
Third strikeout swinging of the day for Caden Parker. It's been a tough one. His only other plate appearance was a hit by pitch.
6 strikeouts overall
Caden Bates.
by Northern Illinois pitching so far today, as Katie Bates looks at a first pitch strike on the outside corner. Nice frame there by Hartman to get that one over. Nice off speed though, misses down and outside. That breeze has definitely helped cool off today. Feeling it once again up here in the press box.
Skies are beautiful as well.
Weather temperature has increased to 84 degrees. That's as high as we'll get. And a swing and a miss by Bates.
Bates had a very big single in his last at-bat. 2 RBIs for him. His first 2 collegiate RBIs.
As he flies this into left field. Going out and making the call pretty audibly is Cone. And it's a 1-2-3 7th inning
No runs on no hits.
by Cy Hockey and the Huskies. We go to the top of the 8th. Northern Illinois still leading Bowling Green by 4 runs, 11-7 here at Steller Field on WBGU PBS.
A bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
Leading off the top of the 8th for the Huskies.
Here at Steller Field, to the top of the 8th we go. Northern Illinois leading Bowling Green 11-7. Over in the Toledo Central Michigan game, it's now 21-0 Toledo, which means in the top of the 7th, unless Central Michigan were to score 22 runs in an inning, more than likely, they would have to do that in that inning. Toledo will face Bowling Green in the first round of the MAC tournament. The question, though, is who's going to be the 4 and the 5 seed. If Bowling Green wins one of these 3 games against Northern Illinois, they will be the 4 seed. Otherwise, they'll be the 5 seed, facing the Rockets either way in the first round in Avon. As this one pumped up to the right side by Ben Lloyd. It's going to be caught there for the first out of the inning.
Back-to-back flyouts for Lloyd, as well as back-to-back flyouts forced by Kraus. And Tyler, you mentioned unless Central Michigan scored 22 runs in 1 inning, right? That also has to add to the fact that they then have to hold that lead and not let up 21 more.
Yeah, they actually would only need, was it 11 runs in the 7th to keep it going? Or no, they would need 12 to keep it a 9-run game and avoid the 10-run run rule. So more than likely, we're going to have a Battle of I-75 matchup in the first round in Avon.
I mean, that's a fun one.
Definitely
to
is.
look forward to as well. These two series remaining between Bowling Green NIU and Toledo Central Michigan will decide who between the Falcons and the Rockets are the 4 and 5 seeds.
And you got to feel good with that matchup if you're Toledo, having beat the Falcons the way that you did in that doubleheader at Scott Park, as this one flown out to center field. Motai sells under it and makes the catch. But if you're Bowling Green, I think they may even say that you want that matchup because of how it ended against Toledo, to get the revenge against your rivals.
And you didn't even get to play the non-conference that was slated for Tuesday because of the rain.
Yeah. Bowling Green, of course, took one out of those 3 games. It was the Fifth Third Field game. They won that 8-3. As the first pitch to Sandy misses for a ball. Sandy now fouls this one off to the left side. Sandy today has just 1 hit, but he's only 1 for 2 as he's walked twice. Found a way to get on a base in 3 of his 4 plate appearances. Fouls another one off.
So 1-2 is the count for Sandy. Kraus could make a big swing moment here if he can just force this out.
This is what they need out of Luke Kraus, by the way. Just this long relief came into the game in that 4th inning and has stayed in ever since and gets a swing and a miss. So back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings here by Northern Illinois and Bowling Green. And we go to the bottom half of the 8th. Northern Illinois still leading the Falcons 11-7 at Steller Field on WBGU PBS.
A bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree, secure your future at BGSU.
Defensive substitution here for Northern Illinois as we begin the bottom half of the 8th inning. It's CJ Sapicki into the game in left field for Cooper Cone, as it's going to be Braden Curlis, Carter Motice, and Garrett Sloan. First 3 up in the bottom of this inning. And first pitch, Braden Curlis flies it out to left field for the first out of the inning. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Sayaki.
And that brings up Carter Motice to try and carve into this a little bit more. We're getting towards the end of our 3 freshman lineup of Bates, Curlis, and Motice.
Sayaki has done an incredible job in relief for Adam Brower. You would have the guess that Sayaki, since Brower did not reach that 5-inning mark, would be in line for the win for Northern Illinois should the Huskies hold on to this lead. As the pitch misses inside for a ball.
Carter Motice, so far in this game, was walked in his first at-bat, flew out and ground out, and he will be walked again.
So Motice finds a way to get on base for the second time today. Bowling Green with a base runner as Garrett Sloan comes to the plate. Sloan singled his last time up.
Motice didn't even need to take the bat off his shoulder for that one. 4 straight balls for the freshman.
That, I believe, is just the first walk of this game issued by Cy Hockey. He's been tremendous with control out of the bullpen. Sloan looks at a first pitch strike. You can see that flag in center field at the top of the screen. Still not moving a ton, just kind of waving back and forth. A light breeze here today.
Just saying hi a little bit.
Yeah, you see it blows out a little bit towards center field, but nothing crazy like we've seen in some games that have resulted in 20-plus run games by both teams.
We've had games where that American flag in center field is fully straight.
Yeah. As this one lined into center field by Garrett Sloan. Holding up at second is going to be Carter Motice, but Bowling Green runners on first and second with just one out here in the 8th, continuing to show life in this offense. And now we go top of the order with Gunnar Antillion. So Chaz, I think it's safe to say if Bowling Green's going to make anything happen here in the end of this game, it's going to be right now in this 8th inning. You have top of the order, runners on first and second, just one out. Bowling Green needs to capitalize on this opportunity.
Yeah, you're right about that, Tyler, as well as the fact that you were getting a lot of momentum out of Kraus. Back-to-back scoreless innings for him.
Interestingly, no arm up in that Northern Illinois bullpen. Although there is a catcher getting some gear on now, so I believe an arm is going to start getting loose here in the next couple of minutes down that right field line. Strike thrown in on the off-speed against Gunnar Antillion. Now a 2-strike count on Antillion.
Antillion has 2 singles, which sandwich a ground out and a fly out.
And this one runs inside. That's going to hit him on the hand. So Bowling Green, bases loaded with just one out. And who else but Garrett Wright to be the game-tying run at the plate.
Huge opportunity here for Bowling Green. Garrett Wright, he led off the game with a double, has no action since. As Paper Planes by MIA plays as a walk-up song. Here's the hit by pitch by Gunnar Antillion. It ends up catching him. It looks almost right on the elbow.
Yeah, elbow maybe on the hands there. First pitch to Garrett Wright. Down outside for a ball. Bases loaded here for Garrett Wright. Wright is 3 for 5 with the bases loaded so far this season. Next pitch, off speeds in there in the zone for a strike. Second highest batting average on this Bowling Green team with the bases loaded. Garrett Wright has. This next pitch kind of freezes right up. Holds that bat on the shoulders. It's in there for a strike. 1-2 the count. Standing on first is Garrett Sloan. Standing on first, Gunnar Antillion. On second is Sloan, and on third is Carter Motice, I should say.
And even if Wright does go down here, you've got 2. That would be the second out, and then you have Zach Horkey, Mr. Home Run away from a cycle. Another strong batter for Bowling Green, so a very advantageous order for the Falcons.
Count even now and Wright, 2-2. Cy Hockey still out there on the mound for Northern Illinois. On the bench, up on the top rail. The pitch is swung out. Fairly deep center field, but settling right under it is Parcell. Makes the catch. Here comes Motice home. He will score. So RBI to Wright. His second of the day on the sacrifice fly. It's now a 3-run game, 11-8. And the game-tying run is now Zach Horkey at the plate.
I mean, how storybook would that be if Zach Horkey completes the cycle by tying the game here?
That would be something. We do not know if there has ever been a cycle in Bowling Green history. We do not have any recording of one. So if Zach Horkey were to get a game-tying homer here, I think we would just have to consider it the first cycle in Bowling Green history, the first recorded cycle in Bowling Green history is what we'd have to call it. But Horky needs to put a big swing on it first to make that reality. And Bowling Green can use it, would tie the game up. But I think either way, the Falcons here, Chaz, need at least one more run. Come across home, heading into the ninth.
Build up that momentum as a big swing there by Horky.
Horky had a 2 RBI double in the first, a triple in the third, a single in the fifth. Did ground out last time up to short in the sixth. The pitch to Horky, up high for a ball.
Horky looking to see if the all whites of the Falcons uniform will match the clouds. If he can hit a home run that high to tie the game.
The next pitch, Horky flies it out, fairly deep right field. Chasing after it is Gauthier, sliding towards the bullpens. He made the catch. What a play by Gauthier in right field. And that'll end this 8th inning. Bowling Green strands 2, and they still trail by 3, 11-8, as we head to the top of the 9th here at Steller Field on WBGU PBS.
And Saturday to conclude the 2025.
A bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
To the top of the 9th we go here at Steller Field. Luke Krause still out there on the mound for Bowling Green. His first pitch to Kyle Hartman is fouled down that third baseline. Tyler Cavlitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network here with you. Chaz, it's Kyle Hartman, the top of the order, with Charlie Parcell and Logan Gregorio. And Bowling Green could use a quick top of the 9th here, get the bats back up with one last chance at it, down to their final 3 outs.
Yeah, you're right, Tyler. It'll be a tall ask for Krause to go back to back to back 1, 2, 3 innings, as both the 7th and 8th he pitched near perfectly 1, 2, 3, and now he's battling up against Hartman. Hartman has the reach on the air. He's got a single, strikeout looking, and a ground out.
This one up the middle, just above the outstretched arm of a jumping Luke Krause into center field for a leadoff single for Kyle Hartman, and sets up the table for the top of the order for Northern Illinois. Charlie Parcell leading it off.
Parcell had an amazing start to the game with a single, a double, and a single. He had a 2 RBI double, but then following that, a back-to-back flyout is what peppers his stat sheet.
Top of the order,
Do have a
fielder,
pinch
Charlie
runner
Parcell.
for Northern Illinois. Caden Casabunki is the pinch runner. Senior catcher, 5'8", 180. Laid down a bunt here by Parcell. Krause picks it up, throws over to first, but Parcell beat it out.
Krause did not put much on
Parcell blazing down that first base line, and Kraus kind of lobbed it in over to first to make sure it was on target. And reaching safely is Parcell. So runners on first and second as you see the bunt once again. And Kraus just kind of lobbed it over there, and beating it out by maybe a quarter of a step was Parcell.
I mean, that was a perfect bunt by Parcell, and obviously you can fault the throw by Kraus, but there was very little he could do there, trying to keep it on target, as Dylan Grego is, not Dylan, excuse me, I was getting him confused with Dylan Grego from Ball State, another MAC Player of the Year nominee.
I was going to say, he's not at Bowling Green
Logan
today.
Gregorio. Speaking of nearly the home run cycle, Dylan Grego did nearly get to it, I believe.
There's going to be a few of those guys. Dylan Grego's one of them. Hayden Yasick, who I think is the front runner at this point from Kent State.
Evan
Applewick, who was my personal preseason prediction for MAC Player of the Year. You have Garrett Wright, of course. And you also have a few others that are also going to be contending for that Player of the Year at the end of the season, as this one lined in right field for a single, coming home and being tagged out is Kyle Hartman. Not exactly sure why Hartman was sent around on that. Maybe trying to force an errant throw, but I mean, he was out by 10, 15 feet at the plate.
I mean, you look at that again. Garrett Wright.
Here's the replay.
This is the throw over by Horky. It gets straight over to Wright. Wright doesn't even try. He just bumps into him.
He's beat out by 20 feet on that throw.
What a crazy decision there by
First baseman, Gavin Baldwin.
By Hartman. As now up is Baldwin, who's got a double for 2 RBIs and a single.
Advancing to third on that was Charlie Parcell. So runners on the corners for NIU with 1 out in the inning. Baldwin singled his last time up.
And that was huge for Bowling Green to get that out in that fashion.
This one popped up to the left side. Chasing after it is Gunnar Antillion and Caden Bates. It's going to be Bates making the catch. Here comes the runner home. The throw not in time. So Charlie Parcell scores on the fly out to left. And NIU's lead back up to 4, 12-8.
Yeah, Tyler, we know Bowling Green is going to have to get some work done here. But first they have to get out of this inning. And you let up 1 run, but you're just 1 out away. A contact play that you can get a quick out on would be ideal, as it's looking like you're going to get through the rest of this game with Kraus, barring extra innings.
You do have to say, with it being a 3-game series, as Will Couchman comes up to the plate, Bowling Green needed Luke Kraus today.
Yep.
They needed that long relief arm to come in and eat up the innings after just the 2-inning start by Jacob Turner, and they got exactly that from Luke Kraus. Oh, 1 count to begin the at-bat on Couchman.
0-1 pitch.
The next pitch is flown out to the left side, but foul.
And there again, we're seeing NIU just battling in again. They build themselves these holes early on. You look right here, Couchman, 0-2, skies this one up, but he's starting to get a feel on Kraus, just trying to get anything. Couchman, we will say, though, he does have 2 strikeouts swinging, as well as that home run for 1 RBI. So a very hot, cold day here for Couchman.
As the next pitch by Kraus is down low and outside for a ball. Couple of those pitches in a row by Kraus, trying to get him to chase down and outside. Couldn't locate it exactly the way he wanted. As Kraus's next delivery line to the right side through the infield for a single. So runners on first and second now for NIU with 2 outs. And that's just another 2-out hit for the Huskies. They've had so many of those in this game.
NIU just doing an absolute phenomenal job here of standing in. And you mentioned, Tyler, you don't want to burn any more arms if you're Bowling Green, but if they start to have a little bit of a boost here, you may
JP
have to.
Gauthier, right field.
And it's just one game in the series, but at the end of the day, there's only so much one pitcher can do, especially with how long Krause is gone.
By my count, that's the 5th two-out hit by Northern Illinois in today's game.
I believe you're right about that.
As Kyle Halleck out to the mound for a mound visit. An arm up in the bullpen, a right-handed arm. For Bowling Green. As up in the bullpen for the Falcons, that looks like it's Logan Bell. It is Bell getting warmed up in the pen for the Falcons. We saw Logan Bell getting warmed up in one of those, I believe the second game in South Bend against Notre Dame. And he didn't come into that game before Notre Dame walked it off in the 7th. Bell getting warmed up here again, I think just in case Krause can't get the job done. You'd have to imagine if Northern Illinois gets another hit here, or if they reach on a walk, I think that'd be the end of the line for Krause. You'd bring in Bell to get that final out.
As up is Gauthier.
Strike on the outside corner. Gauthier does not have a hit today, Chaz.
No, he does not, and he's a guy that you want to get on base. Look at his, you can see it here, his long, lanky build. And on the season,
as he fouls it off to the right side,
he has he's 3 for 5 in stolen bases. I will say this stat sheet confusing. Too many numbers.
To some, I guess.
Well, I mean, like you said, you're a math guy.
Yeah, it's just like an Excel sheet.
Yeah.
You just got to know where to find the columns and the rows and chase them down and locate it. Another foul ball at the plate by Gauthier.
I'm here for baseball.
Well, numbers are part of baseball inherently. As the next pitch is lined into left field, that's going to get down and go to the corner. 1 run scores, and they're going to wave around Couchman. Bates did slip down there, and it's going to be a 2 RBI double for J.P. Gauthier. That's a way to get your first hit of the game, and this lead just grows even more for the Huskies.
Now, Tyler, every single batter except for Cone, who we won't see him record another at-bat,
pinch hit for, or pinch run for,
has had a hit. It's absolutely unreal.
Should be. They have done it with gusto. 5, 4, 2, and 3.
And that's going to be the end of the line for Luke Krause. It'll be Logan Bell coming in to pitch for Bowling Green. When we come back from this short break on WBGU PBS, Northern Illinois above Bowling Green now 14-8 in the top of the 9th, 2 outs in the inning.
A bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree, secure your future at BGSU.
For the Falcons, number 29, Logan Bell.
New pitcher on the mound for Bowling Green is Logan Bell, and after 98 pitches, Luke Krause is out of this game with 2 outs in the 9th. And that just seemed like another scenario where Kyle Halleck may have let Luke Krause in that game a little bit too long. A batter or two too long. He talked about in Notre Dame. He did that in that series where he said he should have trusted his gut and got his pitcher out of there and got to the bullpen sooner than he did in that second Notre Dame game, which was a run rule in the 7th. But either way, it is Logan Bell to pitch to Ben Lloyd. First pitch induces a grounder over to first. Fielded by Ganon. Bell covers, and 1 pitch, 1 out. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Bowling Green needs at least 6 runs to keep this game going. 14-8, Northern Illinois leads here at Steller Field on WBGU PBS.
A bold approach to engineering. At Bowling Green State University, our engineering degrees fuse the science of traditional engineering with technology and hands-on skills. This combination is what employers are looking for in the up-and-coming fields of robotics, advanced manufacturing, and systems engineering. It's why our graduates find jobs and why BGSU stands out. Don't just get a degree. Secure your future at BGSU.
To the bottom of the 9th, we go here at Steller Field. Tyler Kavlitz alongside Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network. It'll be 4, 5, 6 due up for Bowling Green, Gavin Gunn, Caden Parker, and Caden Bates. New pitcher and catcher in the game for Northern Illinois. Mason Ruth is the new pitcher. Redshirt junior right-hander, 6'4", 215 from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 2-4 on the year with a save, a 684 earned run average, 25 innings pitched through 21 appearances, with 18 of them being out of the bullpen. He struck out 20 and walked 14. And the new catcher is Logan Gregorio, moves behind the plate for NIU.
And Tyler, usually when things aren't working, you replace the batteries. When the remote dies, toy car breaks down, but no. With NIU up 14-8, they decide to completely switch out their battery, both the pitcher and the catcher.
They do indeed. It's gone on. Big hack and a miss on that first pitch. Looks at a ball now, outside. So Bowling Green will be facing Toledo in the first round of the MAC tournament in Avon, regardless of how this series against Northern Illinois ends, as another big swing and miss by Ganon. But the Falcons do need 1 win in any of these 3 games against the Huskies to clinch the 4 seed for the tournament. As Ganon swings and misses once again, second strikeout of the day for Gavin Ganon. And for Ganon, that is his 20th game this season with multiple strikeouts at the plate. Overall, his 63rd strikeout of the year.
And that brings up another strikeout player here, Caden Parker. Struck out back-to-back to open the game. He was then hit by a pitch and then a strikeout. He has yet to record a hit or a walk today.
As it won't actually be Parker coming up to the plate. Brock Amelung going to make a pinch hit appearance for Bowling Green. First pitch to Brock Amelung, big swing and a miss for a strike. Last time we saw Amelung was on May 7th against Butler, went 0 for 3, drove in a run, was hit by a pitch, and struck out. His last hit came on March 5th against Dayton. He's 0 for 14 over his past 7 games played. Batting just 1 for 21 at the plate, converts to a .048 batting average this season. Down the count, 1-2. And a swing and a miss by Amelung. Ball got away at the plate, but the throw down in time. So back-to-back strikeouts here in the 9th.
And now up comes Caden Bates, who also has a strikeout, coincidentally. But he does also have a very big single in this game, a 2 RBI hit that was his first collegiate RBI, actually back-to-back collegiate RBI.
The first pitch to Bates. Catches the outside corner for a strike. Swing and a miss by Bates. Down the count, 0-2. Bowling Green down to the final strike here at Steller Field. Ruth from the windup. His delivery inside corner for a ball. Moving out of the way there, Bates avoiding the elbow.
And that NIU dugout can just smell it.
They are electric right now.
Wow.
Ruth's next pitch, got him looking. Caden Bates goes down on strikes looking. And this one is over. NIU winners over Bowling Green in the series opener here at Steller Field, 14-8 over the Falcons.
And they are going to do the lineup, the handshake. I mean, Bowling Green in this game, they got out to a hot start. That was something they tried throughout the past 3 games against Notre Dame. Have a hot start, have a hot start. That was what was hammered into this team. They did. They opened up with back-to-back hits, 2 of them being doubles, and a single, a walk. But then since then, they just could not get things going. They woke up a little bit in the 5th, but after that, just it wasn't working.
Yeah, and the whole game just felt like NIU was just a step ahead of Bowling Green. As we see here, one of those 2 RBI doubles from the Falcons, but another play here where NIU and just misplayed by Bates down to that corner. That was a 3 RBI double for the Huskies.
And a couple tough misplays there by Bates in this game.
And it's just the Huskies were just a step ahead of Bowling Green this entire game. Owen Poole came into the game in relief for Jacob Turner early on. He was solid. And then he had, in long relief, you had Luke Krause, who ended the game rougher than you would have liked before you had to have Logan Bell come in for the final out. But overall, just I think the one thing you could say is Northern Illinois' offense just never stopped, as here was another missed defensive error there. Not an error, but defensive miscue by Ganon. And the bats for the Huskies just never cooled down.
Yeah, Tyler, it's just one of those things that NIU came into this game with a vengeance. Bowling Green had a lot of history on the line if they were able to sweep, and that sweep lasted all about 3.5 hours. Bowling Green just were, I won't necessarily say unprepared, because they had very strong batting performance, but you have their big play moments.
That was the solo home run
solo homer
by Will Couchman. It's just the big play moments. You're right on that one. Those all tilted in the direction of Northern Illinois. Just a few for Bowling Green, but not a ton. So that'll do it for us here from Steller Field. 14-8, Northern Illinois winners over Bowling Green. Before we go off the air, I want to thank you, Chaz, be on the broadcast. Always great with you. I want to send a huge thank you to this entire WBGU PBS crew for coming out and helping us make this production a possibility. This was a great time, and we hope to do it again in the future. Some more next year. That'll do it for us here from Steller Field. For Tyler Cavlett, Chaz McNeil, and the entire WBGU PBS production crew, this is Tyler Cavlett saying, have a great night, everybody, and stay safe.